Really? You're from Korea? No way. You sound just like a native speaker. Richard jumped up in surprise as I told him I came from South Korea. Yeah, I'm 100% Korean, I answered him, giggling. I had spent hours every day practicing my English. Guess it has paid off. But that was 6 years ago already. I'm Jenny, by the way, and I'm Korean. At the time I was 21, I joined an online English speaking club where I first met Richard, who never in a million years did I think I'd fall in love with. But that's exactly what happened. Ever since that very first class, we started talking every day, and the sparks between us were undeniable. He always mentioned how he wished I could be in the Czech Republic with him, and I found myself daydreaming about our future wedding. Okay, so I was getting ahead of myself, but he was just so amazing. After a month of talking nonstop, I realized I was probably going to fail college if I didn't start setting my priorities straight. But all I could think about was him. And whenever we weren't chatting, I was stalking him on social media. And every time I saw him tagged with another girl, I got so jealous. This couldn't be healthy. I mean, I hadn't even met him in real life, but still, we continued to fall for each other. And he even introduced me to his two best friends, Anastasia and Pavel, via video chat. But not as blossoming as my love life. I was failing miserably at college. I'd always been the one who laughed at my lovesick friends, and now I was no better than them. This wasn't right. Something had to change. So even though it was killing me inside to do this, one night before sitting down on my desk to work on my assignment, I just picked up my phone and blocked his WhatsApp, deactivated my Facebook, and all without letting him know. Yep, I full-on ghosted him. It was such a hard decision, because that night, instead of getting anything done for the assignment, I found myself lying in bed with a tear-soaked pillow. It hurt so much, but I had to think about my future. My parents would kill me if I didn't get a good job. I couldn't let them down. Anyway, Pavel messaged me a few days later saying Richard had gone totally crazy and he'd never seen him this upset before. He barely ate anything and would drink all day. He's not much different from a zombie now. But I stayed unfazed. Bet he'd be okay though. He was young and handsome and girls were always after him. He'd get over me soon. And I'd get over him, right? If only it were that easy. I missed him every single day. Even though we'd been thousands of miles apart, he somehow always made me feel so safe, like he was right there next to me. What had I done? I'd ruined everything. Ugh. Instead of wasting time overthinking, it'd be better to put all my energy into my studies for now, right? And it worked. When graduation came around, I was the top student in my class and even got accepted on an exchange program in Australia. Without even thinking, I texted Richard to tell him the good news. I apologized for disappearing on him and said it had messed with my mind because I hadn't expected to fall for him so hard. I had just needed some time to finish my studies, but now I was ready to reconnect again. Well, he'd seen my messages, but there was no reply. It felt like someone had punched me in the heart. Hours later, he finally replied and said, "Sorry, Jenny. I'll get in touch soon. Now isn't the best time." I couldn't believe the words I was reading. I could actually hear the sound of my heart shattering, but it served me right. I was the one who'd gotten rid of him. He deserved better. But still, I stalked him every day online, and then I realized the only way to solve this would be to fly to the Czech Republic and find him. First, though, I had my exchange program in Australia. I bought a new phone and got a new number for the trip to leave my old one in Korea for my uncle who was always complaining about his outdated phone. Those 3 months in Australia were awesome, and I got my mind off things for a little. I was ready to start fresh when I got back from the trip, until my uncle told me that someone had texted me on my old phone, but because he didn't know English, he didn't know if it was for me or not. I immediately checked it, and there was a message from Richard that said, "Jenny, I'm so sorry for my last message. I miss you so much. Your smile, your eyes, your voice. I hope you can give me another chance. Love, Richard." OMG! Months had passed since he'd sent it, and the worst part of all is that my uncle had read the message, and so it said seen. This was a disaster. Okay, but I had to focus on the positive. He missed me. Maybe it wasn't too late. I tried to call him, but he didn't answer, so I texted him and explained what had happened. He finally replied and said he thought I'd given up on him. I'd never give up on him. We then had a proper phone call. "I am still thinking about you all the time. Why didn't you send me a Facebook message?" The words tumbled out of my mouth in a rush, as if I was afraid I would lose contact with him again in any sec. Suddenly, he went all quiet. And then he told me he'd recently met someone, and that he hoped I'd understand and still want to be friends. I felt devastated. Why was it so hard for us? But in the end, there was no other choice for me. I just wished him well and hung up. All I could do now was move on. It was time to find someone else to date. Clearly, Richard and I weren't meant to be. My heart hurt, but I found a job and threw myself into it. giving it all my attention. Eventually, I got promoted, and after 5 years, I was able to help my parents pay off their debt. I even moved up to a management position. Of course, during this time, I dated a bit, but I couldn't make any of the relationships last. I just missed Richard all the time. I kept dreaming of us spending Christmas together. It was so frustrating. I mean, it had been 5 years, and we hadn't spoken at all. Why couldn't I just get over him? I occasionally went on his Facebook page, but all I could see was his profile pic that remained the same for years. I'd unfriended Anastasia and Pavel, too, so I couldn't stalk them either. For all I knew, he could be someone's husband now. Maybe even a dad. And yet, still, I never gave up hope that maybe we'd meet in real life, our paths would cross, and we'd finally get to be together. I couldn't stop thinking about this. And then 3 weeks before Christmas, I got a new following request on Instagram. I couldn't believe it. It was Pavel. And he was now married to Anastasia. This made me so happy. And he told me they were going on their honeymoon to Korea and hoped to see me. OMG, this was so exciting. I desperately wanted to ask him about Richard, but I was terrified to hear that he had kids or something. Anastasia messaged me too and asked how I was doing. I told her I was still single because I worked all the time. Hey, there was no way I could tell her it was because I was still obsessed with Richard. Anyway, the week flew by, and finally I was at the airport awaiting to meet Pavel and Anastasia in real life. They both looked so sweet, and I gave them the biggest hugs. After hugging them, I noticed someone standing behind them. OMG. Was that Richard? What was he doing there? I was so stunned I couldn't move. It was really him. Pavel broke the silence by saying, "We brought Richard along for you, Jenny. Feel free to hit him, bite him, kick him, or whatever you want to do if you think he deserves it." Out of complete shock, I just burst into tears. It had been 6 long years of total silence, and now here he was, looking at me. I asked myself, could I hug him? But I didn't even get a chance to answer my thought because he ran towards me and picked me up in his arms, squeezing me tightly. Then he whispered in my ear, "I'm so sorry, Jenny. Please don't cry. I'm here. I won't leave you. I promise." Could I trust him, though? I was still in shock as I drove them to their hotel, and then again later when I drove to take them out for some Korean food. I was nervous about hanging out with them all, but we seriously had the best night eating, drinking, and laughing. The next day, Pavel and Anastasia would start their honeymoon. So maybe then Richard and I would have some time alone together to talk about whatever was left between us. After dropping them back at their hotel, I was driving away when suddenly I saw Richard running back towards me. He said he wanted to tell me something, so I pulled over and we sat down on a bench to talk. I listened as he told me that over the past 6 years he tried to date other girls, but it never worked out because I was always in the back of his mind. He said he'd spend most of his time working so he could save up to visit me or buy me a ticket so I could come and visit him. It had taken him longer than he'd hoped because his parents had got divorced and he'd been looking after his mom who was super depressed. A few months later, she was diagnosed with cancer, and so he'd had to work even harder to help her pay for treatment. After 3 long years of fighting, she sadly passed away. And ever since then, he'd been feeling so lonely and sad. One day, he asked Pavel to contact me somehow, and when he found out I was still single, he was over the moon and decided it was finally time to come to Korea and see me. He said seeing me in real life had made him fall even more in love with me, which he hadn't thought was even possible. Then he hugged me tight and I couldn't stop crying. We spent Christmas together, just like I always dreamt of. And well, the rest is history. Here I am now, packing my bags to fly to the Czech Republic to see Richard. I can't wait to meet his family. And you'll never believe it, but we're even planning our wedding. The big question is, where do we live? Should I go there, or should he move to Korea? To be honest, it doesn't matter. As long as we're together, it'll be perfect. So it's true what they say. If something is meant to be, it'll be. Even if it takes a year or 6. All I know is that I'm glad I had the patience, because I've never been happy.
We just finished our runway fashion event for Bold, and now photographers were swarming the red carpet, snapping away as usual.
"Strike a pose for me, Lila. Beautiful, Lila! Over here, please!"
I looked over at Maggie, who'd suddenly stiffened like a mannequin, and quickly whispered into her ears, "Smile, you look gorgeous." But then,
"Maggie, can you move to the side, please? You're blocking Lila."
Maggie looked so uncomfortable at the comment that she slowly began stumbling backward, struggling to keep up a smile. "Oh no, Maggie! Hey, that was very rude. Don't you have any common sense?" I held Maggie's hand and ran backstage. "Ignore them, Maggie. You're beautiful. That's why you're one of Bold's top models." "Easy for you to say. Look at you! Of course someone as perfect as you wouldn't understand. But I wasn't perfect, and I knew she'd never believe me unless I showed her. So, with a racing heart, I reached for a wet wipe, about to take off the mask. Literally. But before I could even blink, Mom stormed in and dragged me out of there. Hi, I'm Lila, and apparently I'm both a top model and a PR crisis in disguise. A special title, courtesy of my flawless mother, who also happens to be my boss. Let me explain. My mom is the CEO and founder of Bold, a global beauty empire, and the true definition of Cruella de Vil in couture. She loved to be in control of everything and everyone, even managing my life like one of her campaigns. Always camera ready. And as the face of her brand, I had one job. Be perfect. But here's the thing. I wasn't. Not even close. See, I was born with this huge birthmark on my face, and Mom's made it her personal mission to cover it up. For as long as I could remember, I had an army of makeup artists following me around everywhere. At school, on dates, at the mall. Upon Mom's command, they had to make sure my makeup forever stayed intact. And if they weren't around, oh, Mom had backup plans. For example, during a trip in Paris, I wanted to relax a bit before the hectic schedule started again. I thought I could go outside barefaced as long as Mom didn't find out, just for a few minutes. But the second I touched the sidewalk, someone unexpectedly leapt out of the shadows and plopped a giant flower hat on my head. Instantly, a swarm of paparazzi showed up, clicking away for photos while I stood frozen, unable to move since that hat was so large it instantly blocked off most of my sight. Just when I tried to lift the hat up, as if on cue, Mom strutted out in full couture. Sunglasses the size of small planets, posing like it was the Met Gala, her hand placed on top of the hat, locking it in place. Special announcement for Bold's newest beauty campaign, in collaboration with a Parisian fashion brand, starring my daughter, Lila. Pose, darling. How was I supposed to pose when I couldn't even see anything? I had to get out of there, stat. I turned around and ran back to the hotel. But with the flower hat still on my head, I tripped and landed in front of a pair of shoes.
Whoa, did you just rob a flower shop or?
Awesome. I just embarrassed myself in front of a cute Parisian guy. He extended his hand toward me and helped me up. I subconsciously held the flower hat closer to my face to hide my blushing cheeks. A split second later, Mom caught up to me. Good, you two have met. We have a fashion campaign to plan. Wait, what? Mom knew him? After having makeup piled back onto my face again, Mom gave me an earful about my carelessness. Then she wasted no time and immediately got me ready for a new campaign. This is Leon, your new personal photographer. I hired him for another project, but looks like he'll be starting with this improvised campaign now, thanks to your reckless act. That's just like Mom, to scold me and to create a new business opportunity, both in one go. In 3 hours, Mom landed a collaboration with a prestigious Parisian couture brand, just because I almost made my bare face public. After that, I stopped fighting. She'd made one thing clear. She'd spin everything to keep up the perfect image of her brand. At least now there's Leon here too. Yeah, I know, he worked for Bold, so I should keep things professional between us. But how could I stay nonchalant when he's the one taking my photos, calling me beautiful and smiling at me every day?
You really are the prettiest girl in the world.
Keep saying that and I'll turn into a full-blown diva. Anyway, you've never seen my real face. I'm actually not that pretty. Leon was quiet for a moment.
I know the real you, Lila. And you're beautiful.
What do you mean? Suddenly, Leon grabbed my hand.
Come with me.
Minutes later, we pulled up outside a rundown building that looked one sneeze away from collapsing. We sneaked through a creaky door into a huge dusty dome filled with star charts, lonely constellations, and a giant grated vent on the floor.
Welcome to the Wind Chamber, my personal one-stop wind down.
Okay, but, how does it work? Leon ran to a corner, flipped a switch, and whoosh! Warm air blasted through the floor. In seconds, my hair was up in the air, and I couldn't stop laughing. Leon laughed with me while snapping some pics of us. I felt so happy and free, being here with him right now. How did you even know about this place?
This was my granddad's favorite place when he was younger. The sky view from here is the best. He took me here all the time when I started taking up photography.
I like that. It's a cute story. Later, we looked at the photos Leon took at the planetarium. Let's just skip those. I look silly.
No way. This is you. Carefree and full of laughter. And you're beautiful. I see you, Lila. Beyond the makeup and the polished photo shoots.
Yeah, but that's not... When he tucked my hair behind my ear and leaned in closer, my heart was racing. Was he going to kiss me? Suddenly, my phone rang. Great timing, universe. I picked up the phone to hear a friend frantically telling me to check the latest viral news. Oh God!
Isn't that Maggie?
Photos of Maggie barefaced with a burn scar on her forehead were blowing up online.
Whoa, that scar's kind of brutal. Poor girl.
My stomach tightened. Her scar was faint compared to the birthmark I was hiding. And yet, he noticed. I gotta go. I bolted. Leon called after me, but I dared not turn around. Maggie and I weren't exactly close, but her situation was something I was all too familiar with. I tried reaching her phone, but she wouldn't answer. After being dragged and made into memes online, Maggie was faced with even more judgment the next day when she showed up for our photo shoot. The crowd outside the building booed loudly while paparazzi bombarded her with questions. I wanted to head out and shield Maggie from the public's eyes, but just when I got up from my seat, Mom waltzed in, frowning. What do you think you're doing? Maggie's hurting. I need to comfort her.
No need to bother. She's no longer a model for Bold.
Huh? You fired her?
We strive for flawlessness, and she simply doesn't represent that.
If we're a problem to you, then why hired us in the first place? Why made me the face of your brand? I'm so tired of having to conceal myself away all the time, Mom. I don't want to live like this forever.
I built this brand to help us have the life we do now. Be more grateful.
I was in disbelief. How could she do this? So I ran out and bumped into a crying Maggie. Maggie! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. You don't deserve to be treated like that. You don't have to pity me, Lila. You wouldn't get it anyway. Only perfect girls like you can stay with Bold. I need to go now. Maggie, wait! But Maggie had already ran off. Mom had gone too far this time. For the sake of her beauty empire, a girl's confidence was completely tarnished. I thought of a plan to free myself and overthrow Mom's artificial idea of perfection. But to do that, I needed to confront my fear first. Hey, Leon? I was ready to let him in on the truth. Yet, part of me was still afraid of how he might react. I removed my mask as he turned around. He looked at me for a second, his eyes widening. Then, he got up and hugged me. Why aren't you saying anything? Don't you see the huge mark on my face?
Lila, I'd already seen it in Paris. The hat slipped when you tripped. I just didn't bring it up because I wanted to wait until you're comfortable enough to tell me yourself.
So this whole time?
I meant it when I said I'd seen the real you. And she's beautiful.
My brain short-circuited. Here's a boy who saw me and accepted me for who I was. And the way he smiled at me gave me butterflies. But wait, the plan first, romance later. I told Leon about it. He was being the sweetest boy ever and listened attentively. We took some photos of me barefaced, and later that night I posted them online anonymously. Then, all hell broke loose. And sure, the internet was eating up the drama again. But then things quickly got out of hand, even more than I had expected. Investors bailed, endorsements vanished, sales tanked, and Mom was furious. When she called me into the room, I thought I'd be getting her full rage. But instead, you fired Leon? Why?
I saw the photos on his camera, Lila. Why would you pose barefaced for him? Did he blackmail you?
Or trick you somehow? Mom, nobody tricked me. Leon didn't.
Shh, it'll all be all right soon, dear.
I'll make sure nobody ever wants to hire him again. And just like that, she walked off muttering into her phone. Oh no, Leon's career was about to go down the drain. All because of me. He was only trying to help me because he wanted me to be happy with my true self. But how could I celebrate my so-called freedom if someone else had to pay the price? I had to do something. It had been a few days since the incident and the buzz hadn't died down yet. Mom was focusing all her attention on solving the brand crisis, while Leon, I hadn't been able to contact him since. But it had all ended today. That's why I called for a press conference. As I went up to speak, I saw Leon among the sea of reporters. He gave me a weak smile, but I could tell he hadn't been all right. I had to fix this. Quickly. Hi. I'll keep this short. That's my real face in the photos. No edits, no filters, and I leaked them myself. I've been living a lie and hiding myself under an unrealistic image of perfection. Then, chaos erupted in the room. I stepped away, grabbed a wipe, and erased the makeup, revealing the mark on my face. There was no turning back now. The cameras were clicking away frantically as I continued my speech. My intention with the leaked photos was only to free myself from it. I never expected things to blow up like this and affect people I care about. So I'm here today to set the record straight. There was nothing wrong with it in the first place. My birthmark or Maggie's scar. The real problem was the cover-ups. And more than that, the shame and pressure to do so. Yes, I should have never lied about it. But the world made me feel like I had to. And that's what needs to change. As I spoke, I glanced over to the side and saw Mom stumble backward, her face pale and her trembling hands raised up to cover her mouth. I never thought my strong, stone-cold, bossy mom could look so vulnerable. My chest tightened. I was betraying her trust, stomping on the empire she spent her life building. I hurt her. That night, guilt had me in a chokehold, so I went to Mom's room to apologize. She was sitting at her makeup desk. Since the press conference, she'd been unusually quiet. She didn't even scold me for either leaking the photos or the sudden reveal of my birthmark to the press. Something else was bothering her. I was just about to knock when something I saw in the mirror shook me to the core. Mom had a secret of her own too. A huge one at that. 2 days later, Mom arranged another press conference. The reporters all seemed confused. And to all of our surprise, Mom stood on stage, taking a wipe to remove her makeup, revealing a birthmark just like mine. The room once again erupted in chatter. My daughter's courage reminded me of a truth I buried long ago. I have the same birthmark. I spent my life hiding it, ashamed, afraid, convinced I couldn't be beautiful unless I erased it. When Lila was born with the same mark, I let fear win again. I tried to protect her by doing what had hurt me. But her bravery showed me what real beauty is. The strength to be proud of who you are. She paused, breaking down and sobbing into her hands. The room fell quiet while I walked over and held her hands. I'm so sorry, Lila. And I'm so proud of you for being braver than I've ever been. I hugged her tight, feeling tears welling up in my own eyes too. The next couple of days were crazy. The press conference went viral and public opinions began shifting. Some people still called us names, but the majority praised us for owning up to our mistakes. Mom and I rebranded Bold. She even asked Maggie and Leon for forgiveness and offered them their jobs back. We got new investors, and the brand is now better than ever. Instead of the stiff, dull-faced ideal of perfection, we now strive to endorse authenticity and natural beauty. Because we might not be perfect, but we're bold, and we're proud of who we truly are. Under the giant oak tree, a perfect springtime breeze. His face was just inches away from mine. Deep inside, I knew this was the moment. And just as he leaned in, wait, but I have a child. You what? Holy frogs! Did I just say I had a child? Before he could react, I did the only thing my mind could process. I ran, never once daring to look back. Because if there's one thing that really scares me, it's committing to a relationship. Want to know why? Stay with me as I take you through my story. But before that, please click like and subscribe. I'm Hazel. Yeah, with hazel brown hair, obviously. Can you believe I was just 5 years old when I went to my first nightclub? Yep, my dad was one of a kind.
Darling, are you dressed up for date night?
And he never changed. Ever.
Ready for date night, darling?
Dad, come on, this is your 129th date. And I'm old enough to stay home alone now, so please, just go.
Fine. But listen, no matter who I meet tonight, you're still my #1 girl, alright?
Dad wasn't lying. He dated N number of women, N number of times. But there's only one he's truly committed to. Me. But that made me feel guilty sometimes. Dad, why don't you try to get serious with someone? I know Mom left the moment I was born, but that doesn't mean you have to be single and sad with me your whole life.
Single and sad? Darling, relationships are sad. They just bring pain and tears. But now you're looking at the happiest man in the world. Woohoo!
And that stuck with me. I decided I was going to be happy doing whatever I wanted, however I wished. All was cool until one of Dad's dates, Laura, started messing things up.
Honey, I can't believe I never asked you this before, but would you like to go to school? You know, the real one with principals and desks.
No? Why, Dad? You don't want me at home anymore? Or is it because someone else doesn't want me here?
Darling, don't blame Laura. She just means well.
Then, just 10 days later, I found myself standing in the middle of a boring school, surrounded by a bunch of kids with different hairstyles and personalities. Out of nowhere, I felt a tap on my shoulder. A pretty girl standing alone in the middle of this school? You must be new here. Come, I'll show you around. I'm Minnie, by the way. Minnie and I spent the day hanging around the school. I knew she was going to be my first real friend, but I felt there was more to Minnie than what I saw. We laughed together, studied together, but she never told me about her family. Never. Not even where she lives. Are you close with your family? You never really mention them. It's complicated. Don't stress your beautiful brain with that. Oh, did you smile at the baseball captain, Mike? Now he's telling everyone that the new billionaire girl in school is his girlfriend. Really? That sounds interesting, but I'm not that interested in dating, though. The first few days were a breeze. I quickly became the most popular girl in school and was getting tons of proposals every new day. But then one day, Mike hit me with the biggest twist ever.
Hazel, at first I thought you were just passing by my life, but now I realize that you are my life. Would you be my partner for the annual winter dance next week?
Huh? You mean dancing? Sure, I love dancing. The moment I said it, the entire cafeteria erupted. Cheers, whispers, and gossip flying everywhere. Wait, this wasn't like I accepted his love proposal, or was it? Hazel, you did read the flyer I sent you about the annual winter dance rituals, right? No? Why? What rituals? It turned out that every pair in the dance that night was meant to be together until the end of school. Sounds romantic, right? Not for me. That night, I researched 100 polite ways to say no to someone, but nothing helped when I saw Mike face to face the next day.
So, when do we start rehearsing for the dance? I'm so excited, you know. When?
How about never? Well, that was only the first of my many breakups. As days went by, some even started calling me a heartbreaker, but that was fine. I just didn't want to complicate my otherwise fine life. But as time went by, one thing or the other tried to warn me that I was leading towards a miserable life. But I was not going to take it. My 16th birthday was going to be so lit. I had invited everyone at school and thought my house was not going to be enough to hold the crowd. But boy was I wrong. I walked down all dolled up, only to see Dad and Laura standing with a 10-tiered cake. None of the people I had expected turned up. Not even Minnie.
Hazel, honey, listen, this day is gonna be amazing, I promise.
I saw red and ran back to my room and slammed the door shut. Hey Hazel, wish you a happy birthday. I'm sorry I can't make it to your party. This is the first time I'm seeing my boyfriend's parents, so I couldn't say no. Hope you understand. Wow, now everybody has some important stuff in life, other than attending my party?
Are you okay, Hazel?
I am okay, alright? But she wouldn't take it. She had made up her mind that I was a lonely, depressed kid who needed to be taken care of. She handed me a wrapped box. I tore it open, expecting something remotely fun, but instead, a flute. Flute? I don't play the flute, though. Playing flute was one of the things that can make me feel at ease. You should give it a try. Laura sounded honest and emotional. Kinda made me see her differently. Before I could react, suddenly loud crackers burst from outside the window. Then I saw my name written in the sky. Oh my God! Is it? Yes, your dad. He loves you so much. We all do. Later that night, I was practicing my first broken tune when I heard a reply from outside, and it sounded so well trained. Who was playing? I opened the window, put on my slippers, and sneaked out. The deeper I went into the nearby woods, the louder the mysterious tune became. I must be getting close. But right after a few steps, my slippers slipped and I fell into a muddy puddle. So much for peace and flute. I struggled to get back on my feet when a hand reached out to me from the dark. Ah! Ghost!
Ah! You're a ghost?
No, what? I meant you. When I finally saw him clearly, I realized he was a boy my age, standing under the giant oak tree. Turned out he was Fen, a boy from the local tribe who lived on the other side of the wood. And apparently he was the one who played the flute. We did some talking, and I told him about my so-called birthday party. For the first time, someone actually paid attention.
Birthday, you say? Just wait here.
He left me and ran somewhere deep into the woods. Then suddenly, I heard loud twigs snap and footsteps approaching me. I was pit scared and closed my eyes tight. When I opened them, a bunch of little kids dressed like tribals stood around me with fruits and flowers.
Now this is how you celebrate a birthday.
He started playing his flute. Some played drums, and for what seemed like hours, we were all laughing and dancing like it was the best party ever. It was nearly dawn when Sven walked me back home. Thank you. Goodbye then?
Goodbye. And if you ever want to spend some time here, walk up to this mark and play your broken tune.
Rude, but fine. I'll come by.
Also, hey,
His crystal green eyes gazed into mine. My heart skipped a beat. Phew! What was it that I just felt? I no longer wished to explore that feeling, so I sprinted home. But I surely knew I was going back to his place very soon. The next day at school, I wasn't even that mad at Minnie when she apologized for missing my birthday bash. It's alright. Can't say it was a bad day after all. Oh my! Look at your face! Are you blushing? Gosh, no! You know me. Nothing serious. I did meet a nice boy, but I'm keeping it low-key for now. Nothing's official. You have to tell me everything later. Promise? I promise. A week passed, and one evening as I reached home, a big shock awaited.
we're getting married!
What in the world? My dad, the man who used to say commitment is hell, was gonna marry someone?
Hazel, look. You probably think I'm some witch who has come to separate you from your dad, but I'm not one. I really care for you. I love you and your dad. But if you don't want this, we won't go through with it, I swear.
Laura, you're nothing like the past women my dad dated. Whatever you did for dad or me, it came from your heart. I trust you. Happy for you, old man. But remember, I'll always be your number one girl. You better keep it to your heart.
Of course, darling. Of course.
Although I said yes, my heart was troubled, and I needed to vent. I went to call Minnie, but then I spotted my flute on the table. You know how a girl's heart works? I took my flute and went out to the woods. At first, there was nothing, just the rustling trees and my own echoing notes. But then I heard it, his perfect flute tune. As the song got louder and closer, my heart started beating faster.
Boo! Bet you didn't see this coming.
Oh, thank you. This is so nice. Well, today is full of surprises. I told him about my dad's wedding plan, and he was super excited. He even started sketching out the decor ideas.
That tree right there has some amazing pink flowers, perfect for a dreamy wedding.
Then he took me to a beautiful large tree that stood in the middle of the woods. He whistled, and suddenly 100 birds flew out of that tree, shedding tons of pretty pink flowers on us. Dreamy, I know! I twirled around like a happy kid, but I suddenly slipped. Luckily, Sven caught me just in time. In his arms, I felt my feet slipping and my mind racing. Well, it's official then. I'll tell my dad you'll do the wedding decor.
Sure, and hey, never think you're alone. I'm here. I'm so glad you came today.
That was sweet. If I stood there a minute longer, I'd hug him, so I smiled and walked away. Days passed. Sven and I had become super cool friends by then. We even built our own little wooden shed by our favorite tree. Maybe, just maybe, I was starting to fall for this guy. Dad's wedding day arrived. Everyone appreciated the decor Sven was doing in our garden. No one's gonna believe this is a small urban garden. Look straight out of the woods. Told ya, that's the magic of the guy you're about to meet. Sven! Sven?
Minnie?
Somebody tell me what's going on.
She's my twin sister.
Holy crabs! I was falling for my best friend's brother? I wished I could disappear into the air right then, but it was time for the wedding. Minnie and I stood quiet, a million questions burning inside. Was Minnie from a tribal background? Was that why she refused to speak about her whereabouts all along? I was in a Rich Go cover, okay? I wanted to blend in. You don't have to explain, Minnie. We're all past those silly misunderstandings. Maybe, but this has to stop.
What do you mean? Your rich friend's off limits to me now?
Not that, Sven. You don't know about her. No offense, Hazel, but I can't just stand by and watch you break my own brother's heart like you do with every other guy.
Minnie, she's nothing like you know of her.
You don't know what she'll do to you, Sven. Enough! Can't you take your sibling fight elsewhere? I need to leave. What a pretty mess I've fallen into. And worse, Sven was growing on me and I had just started feeling something that might lead to a true relationship. Now I must give that up for Minnie? Tears rolled down my eyes as I quickly slid through the dancing crowd straight into my room. Soon after, there was a knock. Not now, Dad!
It's me, honey. Sorry, I saw you running and I had to break in.
I don't know what got into me, but I just hugged her and cried my heart out. She felt like a mother I wish I had. After hearing everything, she had a perfect idea. You think that'll work?
Sometimes, Hazel, the only way to know who's real is to test them.
Her words echoed in my head, sounding so simple, so brave. But as I sat on my bed, phone in my hand and Minnie not answering, a knot of dread tightened in my chest. If she wouldn't pick up, maybe Sven would. Sven, I've made my decision. I need to go. I can't be the reason you and Minnie drift apart.
You can't leave. What about everything we built here? I'm sorry if this wasn't obvious before, but I really like you, Hazel. Please, I'll talk to Minnie.
I'm sorry, Sven, but it has to be this way. Minnie wasn't entirely wrong. I had broken many hearts in the past, so maybe this is what I deserve. Getting my heart broken. Just so you know, I liked you too. That's why I must go. He held my face, and we got so close to having a moment when it started raining. I got to my senses and backed away. I ran out of the woods, Sven following me.
Hazel, please don't hurt yourself like this.
I crossed the road to my house when suddenly a car screeched right behind me. Sven was in the middle of the road, staring blankly. I rushed to push him away. He fell on the other side as the car sped away. Well, I got some bruises in the process, but the best thing was I saved Sven. Sven and Minnie came to visit me, but this time Minnie didn't look guarded. She didn't look like someone trying to protect her brother from me. She looked like my best friend.
Well, that's a relief. Though I did bring these in case you still needed some convincing.
I think I'm already convinced. You two are annoyingly cute. I'm sorry I was such a jerk. Sven told me everything just now. You shouldn't leave. I can see that you have true feelings for him. It's all right, Minnie. I won't let you down. We all laughed, and for the first time in a long while, I truly believed in a love that was real. Even if messy, it was honest and quietly beautiful. The bell had already rung, but here I was, still stuck in chemistry class. Mr. Evans won't stop droning on about the big test coming up.
Abigail, you do know what a bond is, right?
That's easy. My dad goes on about them all the time. U.S. Treasuries, Japan bonds.
They are financial bonds. We're talking about chemical bonds, for Christ's sake.
Close enough. Don't you think I deserve a grade increase?
Enough. Go and meet your homeroom now. This is unacceptable.
Jeez, his bad mood must have been contagious for adults, as Miss Garcia was also in a foul mood. So, Abigail, I will organize a meeting with your dad. My dad? No, he'll go mad and take away my credit card. This seriously cannot go on anymore. Your grades are in a downward spiral. I promise I'll actually study this time. Please, let me prove it by acing my next test. Your next test. Let's see. That appears to be your chemistry final in 2 weeks' time. That's perfect. I need time to process all the knowledge I've been learning anyway. And, phew, crisis averted. Now, where's Norma? I need some retail therapy with my bestie. So I have 2 weeks to work this out. I mean, you can probably cram in quite a bit within that time. No, Norma, I have to figure out what I need to buy before my dad locks the card. Right then, a nearby waiter suddenly tripped and spilled orange juice onto Norma and her newly brought Chanel bag. Oh no! But to my surprise, she just smiled and dismissed the waiter. What was that, Norma? What's got into you? Love, I guess? It's still early days, but I'm in love, Abby. Isn't the world so dreamy and beautiful? You are kinda happy? Hold up. Mrs. Garcia is single. If I found someone special, then she'd be too distracted to call in my dad for the meeting. Yeah, I guess. Or, you could actually study. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Evans is single too. 2 birds, 1 stone. So the next morning, I joined Mr. Evans' chemistry club to spy on him.
Wanna hear a joke? What do you think 0 says to 8? Nice belt! Hey girl, can I be the photon to your electron and take you to an excited state?
Please, somebody save me already.
Yo, Callum, you're late to the party. We're having a blast over here. Are you coming home with me or Mrs. Garcia today?
Miss Garcia?
Hi, Hank. My mom's staying late at school today, so...
This Callum guy is Miss Garcia's son? I sure came to the right place. Mr. Evans then gave some boring lecture about states of matter. After drawing a whole maze of weird symbols and stuff on the board, he asked if anyone had any questions. Here comes my chance.
Oh, good. Curiosity is the gateway to knowledge. Go ahead, Abigail.
I was wondering if you like tea or coffee? Oh, and also, are you more of a dog or cat person?
Can you please pay attention to the lesson? Callum, as a top student, I think you can help her.
Of course he will, Mr. Evans. Poor guy, he's totally oblivious that he's been chosen for my master plan. Who made him Miss Garcia's son in the first place? So, Callum, right? Your mom's actually my homeroom teacher.
Yeah, I got that figured out long ago.
Wait, what? You already knew about me?
How can I not? The lowest scoring student in every class. You're my mom's favorite dinner topic.
That's why I'm here, studying to change your mom's dinner topic. Could you help me with that?
Nope. I don't know what you're up to, but keep me out of it.
No way I was letting this plan fail. So I decided to follow Callum to the library after school to learn more about Miss Garcia.
Oops, what a coincidence. Didn't expect you to be here. Thought you'd be studying with your mom 24/7.
We're just normal people who do other things apart from studying.
You know, reading, watching movies, talking. I guess you and your mom only read specialized books. Quite the opposite, actually. We both enjoy Victor Hugo. What about you? Since when were you suddenly interested in chemistry? Me? Why not? I've always had the biggest passion for chemistry. The way all the substances interact with each other is mind-blowing. Chemical bonds, you know? If you're that interested, then yeah, I'll make you a master of chemistry. But first, you may want to try reading your book the correct way. Did he just say he'd help me with chemistry? Why does my gut instinct tell me trouble is on the way? I came home with Callan's precious piece of information about his mom, and forged the cheesiest love letter, well, on behalf of Mr. Evans, of course, and made sure to hand-deliver it. Who knew someone as strict as Miss Garcia had a soft spot for Victor Hugo romance novels? From my hiding spot, I saw Callum open the door and get the letter. Okay, first bird down. The next morning, I was excited to peek into the teacher's room to check on Miss Garcia. But why is the principal here? And in his hand is the love letter. Ye who suffer because ye love, love yet more. To die of love is to live in it. From David. David Evans? Sorry, Mr. Bryce. That's actually my, literature assignment. Wrong address. How in the caramel fudge did this letter end up here? Callum obviously got the letter. I decided to sneak the letter directly into Miss Garcia's bag afterward. Better safe than sorry. In the following days, I needed to send Mr. Evans the other love letter too. Only Callum was a little too determined to turn me into a chemistry master. He made sure I got the notes imprinted in my brain, questioned me on the topics like an FBI agent interrogating a hard case, and even had his eyes fixed on me every time I carried out the experiments. I got no time left for my plan. You know what I've come to find out? You're actually not that bad at studying. Just need some more attention. As if I care. When will he leave me alone so I can take the other bird down? Right then, Mr. Evans suddenly called Callum to the discussion room next door. Gotta go. You can finish the oxidation. Remember to measure carefully and not take your eyes off of it for a second. Don't sweat it. I've got this. As soon as he left, I sneaked into Mr. Evans' room and put the letter in his bag. But when I was about to leave, something caught my eye. A picture of young Mr. Evans. Yikes! Did too much studying and no loving make his hair leave him for good? He has a lot of books in here. Some of them are by Victor Hugo! Ha! Seems Mr. Evan and Miss Garcia are made for each other. Oh, sugar! The experiment! I ran back to the lab and poured all the substances in, but it was weird.
What did I tell you? All the time spent on this experiment, just to see it burn.
Oh, wait. What is this purplish substance? Mauve! We've accidentally created mauve instead! You're so brilliant, Abby! Didn't really know what was going on, but are those my cheeks I can feel blushing? What's gotten into me? Didn't know you two are progressing that fast. Maybe keep it down a notch in public. Seeing Hank made us both turn cherry red and jolt apart. It was just a joke, but somehow my heart was flipping. After the incident, Callum didn't seem so annoyed with me anymore. Instead, he was kinda caring. He would patiently explain things I didn't understand and clean up after our experiments. Talk about having great chemistry together. Literally. The 2-week mark soon arrived, but strangely all the questions were not hard at all. I know all of the answers. They're all on topics I covered with Callum. Later that day, I was walking when Callum zoomed over to me. Mr. Evans said you passed the test. I knew you could do it. Abby, if you'd like, do you want to go out for a movie? Abby, shocking news! I just saw Mr. Evans and Miss Garcia holding hands in the school garden. Things are progressing! Norma and I both turned into excited dolphins when Callum's happy expression fell. What are you talking about? My mom with whom? Mr. Evans, you should thank Abby. It was her plan to get your mom a new boyfriend. The plan? Is that what you call it? Passion for chemistry? So what? It worked, didn't it? This isn't gonna happen. No way. What's your problem? Why don't you want your mom to be happy? Talk about selfish. Callum couldn't answer and huffed off. He's been ignoring me ever since. And me? I decided to find a new lab partner. Well, if Hank would quit getting in the way. Why did he always poke his nose in? I gave Hank a dirty look, but he just pushed Callum toward me. You two are welcome. What gives? Callum couldn't even meet my eye. I felt kinda bad for Callum. I guess no one wants to see their parent dating their chemistry teacher, right? Why bother anyway? I should be happy because the plan has worked out. What's up with Callum? Why is he acting as if someone burglarized his house or something?
Actually, Callum's dad walked out on them a couple of years back.
Since then, he swore to never let anyone hurt his mom again. That's why he's so against your matchmaking plan.
That explains a lot, but wait, how did you know about the matchmaking plan? Hank started to sweat bullets while Norma constantly winked at him. Hey, are you guys hiding something from me? Don't tell me.
No, we're not dating. We're...
You said it yourself, idiot. That makes sense. The next morning, Miss Garcia suddenly got sick, and this Miss Flowers came in to cover. Different from our strict homeroom, Miss Flowers didn't teach much and seems pretty chill with whatever we do in class. Great, huh? Yeah, it would be if she didn't keep on flirting with Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans didn't look comfortable with Miss Flowers at all. She was obviously trying so hard to win him over. Poor Miss Garcia. She looked so happy with Mr. Evans before. My master plan can't have been for nothing. I gotta do something. So I handcrafted a reminder love letter on behalf of Miss Garcia again. That was sure to make Mr. Evans' heart give off butterfly flutters. But I was sneaking it onto his desk when Miss Flowers appeared.
Abigail, what are you doing?
Why are you doing this? Mr. Evans is my dream man, not hers. No, he's not. He and Miss Garcia are obviously made for each other. Duh. I demand that you take that back at once. He's my heart's desire. Mine. No, he's not. He goes all gooey-eyed at Miss Garcia, not you. This is unacceptable. Detention!
That's not fair, Miss Flowers. You can't punish her over nothing.
You, Garcia's son, right? Want to play hero saves beauty? Detention for both of you, now! Miss Flowers? More like Miss Tyrant. What kind of a teacher made students clean the windows for detention? Ugh, these stupid windows. Breaking my back already. And Callum being all Frosty the Snowman with me is not helping.
You brought all of this on yourself.
What? If you hadn't have given the love letter to the principal in the first place, Mr. Evans and your mom would be official already.
My mom and I are fine by ourselves.
Who's being stubborn now? Hank already told me everything. I understand you're upset, but have you ever thought about what your mom wants? She sure looked happy with Mr. Evans. Callum didn't say anything, but I could tell from his glazed eyes that he was thinking hard about this. When Callum and I finally got out of detention, Hank and Norma rushed in. We just heard that Miss Garcia has food poisoning. She's fine now, but Miss Flowers will probably cover for another week.
Why do I feel like Miss Flowers has something to do with this? She visited my mom yesterday and gave her a casserole.
That's it! Miss Flowers must have poisoned Miss Garcia so she could replace her. But this is getting crazy. What can we do? How about we publicize all the love letters online so the whole school knows about Miss Garcia and Mr. Evans? I mean, if that's okay with you? Callum didn't say anything and just nodded. We immediately rushed to the IT room, but the computer's locked.
Let me handle it. I know the password.
With Callum's help, we posted on the school forum. And guess what? Everyone's smitten with Miss Garcia and Mr. Evans' love story. Cute, huh? We then left to visit Miss Garcia, but Miss Flowers appeared in front of us. What do you all think you're doing? Making a fuss on the school forum? I bravely stepped up to face her. You've seen it. Mr. Evans and Miss Garcia belong together. You should just give up on him already. Is that so? You know what? Mr. Evans actually wanted me to meet him for a private talk tonight. And as for your homeroom teacher, guess what? That position will be mine full time.
I'm afraid you've got it all mixed up, Miss Flowers.
It's Mr. Evans, followed by Miss Garcia.
We asked you to come to talk about Miss Garcia's food poisoning.
That's right. Earlier today you visited me, asking me if I was ready to come back to class tomorrow. You were very kind and even brought me homemade food. Little did I know that this was a deliberate attempt for you to make me sick. Luckily, Mr. Evans dropped by just in time to get me to the ER. And now you're talking about taking my place? No way! But the students clearly love me more anyway. They hate you because you always make them study. Just then, everyone started booing her. Miss Garcia is strict, but at least she's serious with teaching and always makes sure we study.
You don't teach us anything.
That's right! And we all know about Miss Garcia and Mr. Evans already. You're just being a third wheel. No! This can't be true! David, tell these kids that our love is as bright as the sun, and that we're soulmates. I know you love me. Tell them! David, tell them you love me! Tell them!
Unfortunately, my heart has always belonged to Miss Garcia. I was nervous about sharing my feelings with her, but fate brought us together, and now I couldn't be happier.
Miss Flowers' whole expression wilted. Ha! She burst into hysterical tears and ran off.
Mom, are you okay? I'm sorry I wasn't there.
I'm fine, Callum. Please don't worry.
Thanks for looking out for my mom. Please, can you take her home for me?
Mr. Evans nodded, then took Miss Garcia away. When there were only 4 of us, actually 2 of us left, Callum turned to me.
You were right. It was so silly of me trying to stop people from falling in love. Because when you fall for someone, you can't help it.
What do you mean?
I mean,
I think I've fallen for you.
Look at this gorgeous golden cruise. Isn't it perfect for my 16th birthday? Here comes the most exciting part of tonight. Gifts, of course. All the guests lined up, eager to hand me their presents. Mr. Robinson bought me this eau de parfum in a dainty gold bottle. Yep, approved. What's next? Ooh, a pair of Jimmy Choos from the Mitchells? Gold, of course. Nice color, but the heels are far too low. What a bummer. I'll have to pass on this. That's right. Every single thing of mine needs to follow specific standards. Why, you ask? Well, my mom saw me as her beautiful angel deserving wonderful golden luxuries since the day I was born with this silky blonde hair and sparkling amber eyes. So much that she immediately changed my nursery interior to gold, along with all my baby clothes and toys to match my features. Throughout my childhood, Mom continued to spoil me with life's wonderful golden luxuries. One time, I asked for a piano, then voila! A grand classical one made from pure gold appeared. Can you believe that? Another time, I said I wanted a pony. Then, without hesitation, she took me to a farm to meet Goldie, my new mare with the shiniest golden coat. Mom, thank you so much. Honey, gold is the symbol of power and divinity. You must always remember how special you are and never accept anything less than perfection. And those are the words I've been living up to. Back to my birthday party. It's time for birthday cake! But the flowers are pink. I want it all gold. Chef friends, please scrape them all out and replace them with gold ones. I couldn't believe my birthday was almost ruined because of that. Mom patted me on the shoulder to comfort me, while Dad just gave a disapproving look.
It's just a cake, Lola. How are you going to fit in out there if you insist on being so picky? Maybe you should join a public school to open up your eyes a little.
School? That's not a bad idea. Always being homeschooled meant I didn't have any friends. Even the guests today are all my parents' business partners. But Mom opposed the idea immediately as she didn't want me to go through any hardships. Don't worry, Mom. I'll choose a school that fits all my standards. Pretty please. And, of course, she couldn't say no. So, here I am, negotiating straight up with the principal.
I suppose painting your lock of gold and bringing a personal chef to school and such are doable, but I'm afraid we don't have a private piano room.
Then build one.
Also, we only have outdoor sports field and swimming pool.
So, just install a roof? Don't expect me to play sports in the scorching heat.
Miss, unlike your previous tutor, not all the teachers here have a doctorate degree, be bilingual, and in their early to mid-30s.
In that case, no biggie. I'll just find another school then.
No, wait. Give me time. As long as your family sponsors the school as promised, I will definitely make it happen.
There you go. Finally, it's my first day of school. Immediately, all the students already swarmed around me in awe of my noble vibes and fashion sense. No surprises, as this school needs a serious makeover. But wait, that blonde girl looks pretty neat. Ooh, she even carried a yellow Chanel classic flat bag. What a coincidence. Mine's a limited edition. I went to talk to her right away. Her name's Beth, and we just naturally clicked after a brief chat about fashion and cosmetics. Seemed like I found myself an amazing bestie. Every day after class, I took Beth on shopping sprees at Saks for bonding. I got her all the clothes and accessories in gold and yellow, just like mine. I even talked her into bleaching her hair to be bright as mine. We're basically twins now. There's just one problem. Wherever we went, the boys followed.
If you go out with me, I'll give you the latest Gucci collection.
Sorry, I just bought the whole store.
I can pick the stars for you if you want.
Is that so? And what should I do with those useless rocks?
My dad just bought me a Ferrari. I can take you anywhere.
Good for you. Too bad my Rolls Royce is there. Bye. Why do they have to make such a scene? There's no way I'd fall for those idiots. I want my Prince Charming who meets all my golden standards. How about just letting everyone know my ideal type? Then I can suss out the pyrite from the real deal boyfriend material. With no time to waste, I created an Ask Me a Question story on IG and asked Beth to cooperate. Now all I have to do is to list my requirements. The next morning at school, all of the dorks finally left me alone. Oh, except for this guy.
Hey, Sugar Plum, I can be the man of your dreams.
So, this is Josh, captain of the soccer team. Also the hottest boy here. It seemed he met all of my standards. Is he my perfect missing piece? I was dead wrong. During our date, he blabbed on non-stop about how terrible it was for him for being too rich and too handsome. Ugh, how I longed to shove the steak right into his mouth and go home. But I suppose he did meet my high standards, so maybe I should give him another chance. The next morning, during PE class, Beth dashed toward me, holding a super duper stinky shoe? Lola, Josh lied to you. He's not 6'4". Look at this nasty hiding crease insole. He's only 6'3". Ew, gross.
Babe, I'm sorry. I only did it because...
That's enough. Take this stinky shoe away from me. We are over. And so my quest to find true love is at a dead end. Again. Yet, surprisingly, luck had smiled on me once more. Later that day, I came to the practice room as usual when my favorite piece of music reached my ears. Oh my, what a heavenly sight! All of a sudden, I felt my heart skip a beat as I unconsciously walked toward that boy. Seems like someone has a really good taste in music. And your skills? Not so bad either.
Well, as long as you open your heart to feel its soul, not just learn the notes.
Then he stood up and walked away, not bothering to look back at me once. That was a bit snobby, wasn't it? Yet, strangely, I stood there dazed. But wait, who am I to swoon that easily? Let's see if he met my standards first. Beth helped me to find out more about him. Turns out he's Connor, the new transfer student who's trying out for the basketball team. So, I immediately went to Ken, the captain, and whispered in his ear, asking him to come up with an excuse to make Connor get a physical exam. At my personal doctor's office, of course. The result is finally in. Natural blonde, no baldness, check. 6'5", definitely without hiding crease insoles, check. White teeth, no cavities, check. Wow, he ticks all the boxes. Then I rushed to the principal's office asking him for Connor's school report, and it was impressive. He's always in the school's top 2, actively takes part in extracurricular activities, and he even won a prize in the national basketball competition. Oh my god, he's perfect. But wait, there's one condition left. This should be easy. Just a little higher. Higher. Ah, there they are. But these girls were way too obsessed over his abs. Those are mine, okay? That's right. There's no doubt that Connor is my Mr. Right. After that, I shyly handed him a bottle of golden-labeled mineral water and asked if he'd like to practice playing piano with me. My heart was thudding like crazy, but he just muttered,
Sorry, but I already have a date.
Then he went past me to... Lily! What? That nerdy girl with 0 social skills? There's no way I can lose to her. I immediately told the principal to switch all my classes to Connor so I could easily approach him. My amazing advisor Beth also helped me devise a super detailed step-by-step strategy. Soon, Connor will get over boring Lily and fall head over heels for me. First step, scent attraction. Beth told me that Connor loves this no-brand perfume, so I sprayed a bunch of it on and confidently walked into class. But why do people keep sneezing so much? Even Connor was also frowning and holding his nose.
Hey Lola, you didn't shower this morning, did you? Spraying a whole bottle of cheap perfume won't help.
And the whole class burst into laughter. Ugh, how humiliating. Okay, plan B. Beth suggested a grand confession. Great idea. So when school ended, the cheerleaders and I started a formation right in the middle of the entrance to ask Connor out. But before he could react, a girl suddenly lost her balance and dragged everyone down on top of me. Ouch! This time was sure to move him to tears. But when I was cheering for him, Connor somehow missed his shot and the ball flew straight at me, causing me to tumble face first into the armpit of this smelly guy. Yuck! Why did everything keep going wrong? Suddenly, I bumped into Josh. He grabbed my hand and started begging me to take him back. He said he tried all kinds of ways to grow taller and actually managed to reach 6'4" now, so I should stop pursuing Connor and become his princess instead. Jeez, I'm really not in the mood for this desperado. Let go of me! I then ran into Beth while leaving. She came to tell me that she figured out another way to make Connor mine. It seems like he's really into Lily. We have to separate them. So, I called Lily to a corner and told her as long as she stayed away from Connor, I would buy her whatever she wanted. You know, not everything can be bought. Connor isn't interested in you, so you'd better give up. You're just annoying him. What? I didn't expect quiet, nerdy Lily to say that to someone as lustrous as me. Lily's words had been bothering me all day. Was I wrong to continue pursuing Connor? Suddenly, someone ran past the window and splashed an entire bucket of paint onto Lily. I sat there baffled at what had just unfolded, when Connor immediately took his jacket off and covered Lily up.
You're behind this, aren't you? You've really crossed the line. Stay away from us.
Wait, he thought I did that? It's true I didn't like Lily, but I just wanted her to stay away from him. I never wanted her to be covered in ghastly purple paint. But the worst was yet to come, as the next day, Connor arrived at school with pitch black hair. Your beautiful hair. Why did you ruin it? But Connor just tutted at me and tried to pull Lily away.
You know, there's so much more to Connor than his hair color. Do you even like him for him, or just because he happened to meet all of your absurd standards? If you're really into him, why not change your standards for him?
I was speechless. Lily was right. I really thought all those standards were enough to make up an amazing boyfriend. Then I realized how Josh had what it takes. Still, I didn't want him. I only wanted Connor.
Let's go, Lily. Someone this naive and spoiled will never understand what true love is. Leave her to her scheming.
Wait, why do you keep insisting that I'm the one who harmed Lily?
Drop the act. I know that paint stunt was just one of your many dirty tricks. Beth's already sent me the video where you failed to bribe Lily.
Huh? Beth? Why did she do that? I was still clueless when suddenly the principal called Beth to his office. I rushed there to find out the culprit splashing paint on Lily was caught. And he revealed that the mastermind was Beth. At first, she tried to deny it, but when the boys showed us their texts about the deal, she had to tell the truth. You stole everything from me. Before you came here, I was the it girl, but now people only see me as your replica. Why are you so obsessed with that hideous golden color and your stupid standards? I can't believe Josh actually likes you, while I was the one by his side when you dumped him. Huh? So Beth liked Josh all this time? She even accepted to date him in secret. But turned out Josh only treated her as a side piece while he tried to win me back. If I can't have Josh, you can never have Connor. Unbelievable! So all this time, I'd let a fox guard the geese. I couldn't bear this place any longer, so I skipped class and went straight home. That night, on seeing how upset I was, Dad came to comfort me. I cried and told him all about my love life and friendship troubles.
Honey, maybe it's time you saw others differently. Those standards don't mean anything. You should open your heart and allow yourself to see the good in people.
Dad was right. I was so dead set on them that I couldn't see the true nature of the people around me. I chose Beth and Josh based on those standards, but both of them let me down. Meanwhile, Connor deliberately broke them, yet I couldn't shake him from my mind. The standards were like my music sheets. I played each note correctly, but I was so caught up in the practical side of it that I'd forgotten to embrace the soul. So the next morning, I went to apologize to Connor for the troubles I caused him and Lily. I just want you to know, I really like you, no matter what color your hair is. But may I ask you one question? What is it about Lily that you like so much?
What? You think I'm dating Lily? She's my cousin.
Uh-oh, this is so embarrassing. But wait, in that case, does that mean I still have a chance?
Do you remember when you were 10, you participated in a children's piano contest? A gold necklace was stolen from the hotel you were staying at.
Yeah, I just have a vague recollection about that incident. The suspect was a blonde boy, a female employee's son, but I noticed the necklace peeking through a man's pocket instead. Leave the boy alone! This man is the thief! So that kid was Connor? He was grateful and super impressed with the innocent and righteous girl back then that he recognized me right away the day we met again. However, when he saw how cocky I was, he thought I'd changed for the worse and ignored me.
Now I see the admirable girl I know is still there after all this time, so I wouldn't mind if we start getting to know each other anew.
Really? Wish me luck this time, you guys.
I was in this romantic dinner date with the love of my life, knowing too well that one day I'd be gone. But I couldn't help but falling for him. I'm in love with you, and I know that love is just a shout into the void, and that we're all doomed, and that there will come a day the sun will swallow the only earth we'll ever have, and I am in love with you. Cut! Excellent, Eleanor. Well, that was the usual in the life of an actress. Oh, hey, didn't catch you there. I'm Eleanor, from LA. My life as a kid was a bit different from others. While they were surrounded by dolls and toys, I was wrapped up in the limelight. Being a superstar seemed fun back then, but the glitz and glamour of showbiz gradually wore me out. My momager never let me take a break between gigs, so there's no time to hang with people my age. You know, I missed out on doing normal things like having sleepovers and going to birthday parties, and before I knew it, I was already swarmed with work and work. Sweetheart, I've got you another script. Take a look. Whatever, Mom. FYI, Jeremiah is also on the show. Seriously? Mom, that heartless jerk cheated on me. No way am I working with him. Eleanor, be professional. I've already signed the contract. Besides, Mommy's Bentley collection is missing this shiny golden one. I don't give a damn about your stupid car. Stop treating me like a GoFundMe for your lavish lifestyle. Mom can be insufferable sometimes. She dictated everything. But why bother now? No showbiz, no Mom's orders. I can do whatever I want. Bye-bye salad and hello chocolate cake. But suddenly, a dark figure bolted towards me and snatched my bag. I lost my balance, banged my head on a fire hydrant, and then everything went black. Gosh, my head was spinning. I opened my eyes to see a cute guy leaning over me. Hey, are you all right? Am I dreaming? 'Cause this view sure is dreamy. No, you're not. You're at the orphanage. I found you unconscious on the ground last night, so I brought you here. Excuse me? An orphanage? I can't be in a place like this. But wait, my phone and wallet? Darn it! That thief stole my bag along with everything! Guess I needed to delay my independent life plan just a little bit. I better call Mom. Hey, got a phone I can borrow? Suddenly, the TV broadcast a missing report. The young actress Eleanor Mitchell has been reported missing. Speculation is that this is a publicity stunt to promote her latest movie. However, her manager claims this is not true and urges anyone with information to come forward. That chick will soon reappear when she's hungry. What? I could be lying dead in a lay-by for all they knew, and they were still mocking me? I was so done with this. Goodbye, showbiz. I was leaving that fickle world behind for real. So I asked the orphanage's manager if I could stay here and help out. Just then, a group of kids noisily ran towards me and printed their hands on my shirt. No! My custom Chanel!
Sis, come play with us.
Do I look like a nanny to you? Go wash your hands, dirty children. Shoo! Shoo! Ahem. You're supposed to go play with them? Ah, I forgot about that. I steered away to find another group of kids splashing mud everywhere. Ugh, are they training a bunch of farmers or something? The next morning, this strange screeching noise startled me. It's only 6 a.m. I sluggishly dragged my feet out of the room. People immediately threw me judging looks. I guess my first day at work started off on the wrong foot. I'd barely had time to sip my coffee before they made me do the washing by hand. This wasn't the Dark Ages. Hadn't they ever heard of a washing machine? One of the staff got annoyed with me and shooed me away. Alrighty, I'd go help in the kitchen. Peel half of these. Easy peasy. Just give me a few minutes. Voila! I'm good, right? But somehow, they still got mad at me. No other choices. I headed to the children's, but this place is pure chaos. I sure wish I had my earplugs. Suddenly, I felt someone grabbing my leg. I looked down to see the cutest pair of puppy eyes.
Sis, can I have a bite of that?
Aw, how could I say no to that? But as soon as I gave her the cake, her face changed into a devilish grin. The little girl grabbed a big chunk with her bare hand, then smashed it into another kid's face, and the cake fight began. Caleb opened his mouth to say something, and a massive piece of cake flew into it. Oh my god, Caleb, are you all right? I didn't know they were gonna mess with the cake. You did this? Oh, you're so dead to me. He grabbed the cake and started chasing me across the room. What? This was so unprofessional. Right, that's it. Watch out, Caleb. Okay, so the manager wasn't very happy with us, but honestly, it was the most fun I'd ever had. Besides, after the cake fight, the kids seemed to like me. Whenever they saw me, they clung to my legs and begged me to play with them. One day I was in the garden attending to the flowers when this little girl ran over to me in tears. Oh, Pumpkin, what's wrong? Bella was adopted a few days ago, but they just brought her back. Poor kid. All I could do was pull her into a warm embrace and pat her back. Do you know what it is these kids crave the most in the world? Not new toys or expensive clothes. They just want love. Love? I never thought something so simple could seem so unreachable to these kids. Well then, this Eleanor will make sure they'll be showered in love from now on. There's still some troubles, but luckily, I had Caleb on hand to help. Then one night, I was sitting outside looking at the skyline when Caleb came over. He leaned across me and pulled something off my cheek. Oops, the kids must have stuck it while I was asleep. That's on you for giving them a sticker book. Eleanor, I'm glad you're here. I really like you and I'm falling in love with you. Will you be my girlfriend? Wow, I wasn't expecting that, but Caleb was a great guy, so being with him made sense, right? And the following days were fantastic. We found out lots about each other. Oh, there's something you might be surprised about me. I used to be an actress. Oh, I didn't expect that. I just think showbiz is kinda toxic. Sorry you feel that way, but believe me, I have no interest in it anymore. Good, 'cause it's all a load of pretentious jerks who think they're so much better than everyone else. That's harsh, I guess, but he's right though. Anyway, I've already found fairy tale love right here. But to be honest, I did miss the elaborate sets, the stunning costumes, the dazzling studio lights, and the feeling of morphing into a different character. So sometimes I played out Disney princess roles for the kids. But one time, Caleb stormed in on us. Look at you! You've fallen back into your old ways. Come on, kids. You have better things to do than this. My heart thumped in sadness. Acting was a part of who I was, but seems like he'd never understand that. And I don't want to upset him either. So I guess I had to put aside my passion and just focus on my new life here. One day while skipping towards the playground, I slipped on a banana peel and was about to fall when a strong arm caught my back and helped me to stand up. Surely he did have a strong build and a gentleman manner, but who is this guy? I thanked him, but he just stared at me. You look just like Eleanor Mitchell. Well, I am her. Oh, you left showbiz for real? I thought it was just a media trick. Oof. What was his deal? Was he a reporter coming to dig up dirt? Oh, sorry, just kidding. But are you serious about quitting acting? You've got talent. All you need is a good script to sink your teeth into, instead of those terrible ones you've been given. Huh? Was that considered a compliment? Turns out he's Frederick, a young screenwriter who came to the orphanage for inspiration and to help out. He even set up a mini theater for the kids to have their first cinematic experience. As you can see, anything's possible in movies. Even our most magical dreams can come true. I suddenly remembered why cinema had captivated me in the first place. It opened the audience to multiple perspectives and worlds. This is the cinema I love and dream of being a part of. And maybe that's why I'm naturally drawn to Fred. He might seem a little playful, but when it came to movies, he turned into another person. I cannot deny that my flame for acting was rekindled by his genuine sharings. I mean, everybody loves Fred. Look. Well, maybe not everyone. Okay, kids, but remember, studying is priority so that you can have a better life. Acting and scriptwriting is just a pipe dream. It's not real. Yes, studying is important, but arts are what we live for, what nurtures us from within. Art has no value. Investing money in arts is like throwing it out the window. There are people who barely have anything to eat. Why not use that money to help them instead? Gosh, these man children. They looked ready to start a fight, so I had to step up and stop them. After that day, Caleb and Fred were constantly giving each other dirty looks. I tried to calm Caleb down, but he got mad at me for no reason. Things only got worse between them, and I felt awkward with Fred. Just let him be. I don't want his problems to get in between our friendship. By the way, I have something for you. Then he showed me his new script and asked me for advice. And guess what? The script was actually based on my life in the orphanage. He'd been inspired by my journey here. It was such a beautiful script, and I felt seen and understood, though we just met not long ago. Then out of nowhere, Caleb angrily bolted towards us. What the heck are you doing? He tried to drag me away, but Fred stopped him. Dude, can't you see you're hurting her? Not your business. Get your dumb writing hands off of her. Stop, Caleb, you're being rude. I'm not done with you, Eleanor. You went behind my back to swoon for this brat and his dumb art. I thought you'd be different, but you're just like them. Once a spoiled actress, always a spoiled actress, huh? So this is how little you think of me? Caleb, listen, acting is what I live for. I even tried to hold it back just to please you. And look where it got me. I'm done hiding my true passion. Caleb, we're over. Caleb looked down and didn't say a word, and after that he packed his things and left the orphanage. It's true Caleb had opened up something in me, but if being with him meant I had to lose myself, then I'd gotta let him go. The orphanage without him was not the same. Luckily, I had Fred to cheer me up. He asked me to play the lead in his upcoming film project, and with the script based on my journey here, I agreed. It felt good knowing I could finally go back to acting, even if I was sorta playing myself. Then one day, I found a baby left in front of the orphanage. Then I quickly carried him inside. Poor Hector. I'll take good care of you.
Mama.
That's right, your mama's here.
Dada.
I'm your dada now? Together we'll be a happy family. Right, Mama? Oh boy, it made my stomach do cartwheels. But was it okay to feel this way after everything happened? We started filming in the orphanage soon, and the kids were a big help. It felt quite strange after a long break. But the thing that got me nervous about was the audience's reaction to the movie. Turns out, I was worried for nothing, as the feedback was actually amazing. Though that joy didn't last long, as a few days after, the image of me holding Hector hit the internet with the headline, "Actress turned teenage mom." Through their words, I appeared as this reckless girl who got pregnant and ran away from showbiz to give birth. That got netizens turned 180 and throw shade at me. What a load of nonsense. Right at that moment, I got a text from Caleb. Is this your rotten showbiz? So it's him who leaked that picture to the press. How could he? I've got to sort this out. Today's the day. It's time to shed light on everything. Hi everyone. Today I have an announcement to make. It's true, I have a baby now, and the father of my child is Jeremiah Williamson, my ex. Everyone gasped in shock. Just then, a man in black stood up and revealed himself. Ha! The prey fell for the trap. You liar! Everyone stop listening to her lies! Oh yeah? Then Jeremiah, why exactly are you here? He was completely speechless. That's what I thought. Now, Joshua, Jeremiah's private detective, may you please stand up? Among the crowd, both Caleb and Fred forced the detective up to his feet. Tell them what you know. The deal was Jeremiah felt humiliated as I'd refused to work with him, so he decided to hire this Joshua guy to dig dirt on me. That's how he got my picture with the baby. Luckily, Caleb caught the detective sneaking around the orphanage, and together, we set up the trap to lure Jeremiah in. Jeremiah still insisted he had no idea who this Joshua guy is until I showed the evidence of the transactions between him and his detective on the big screen. Any last words? Justice served. Let's see how he handles this scandal. Right at that moment, I spotted a familiar face in the crowd. Mom! I hadn't seen her for such a long time. Darling, I'm so sorry. I realize now how terribly wrong I've been. I thought I was helping, but turns out I only smothered you. But you're ready to make your own choices. Please forgive me, and don't leave me again. I'm sorry too, Mom, for leaving like that. I didn't mean to worry you. I threw my arms around her, tears welling up in my eyes. My time in the orphanage has taught me a big lesson. Family isn't always perfect, but they're the most precious thing in the world. Later, I stepped outside to see Caleb waiting there. What a mess. Thank you for helping me. Don't mention it. Actually, I should apologize to you first. That day I couldn't control my words because I was jealous. I'm sorry. And one more thing. I still have feelings for you, so can we— I know what you're about to say, but I've come to realize that we're not right for each other. I think I'm in love with someone else. Thank you for being kind to me. I could see the disappointment on his face, but then he gave me an understanding smile. Out of nowhere, the kids jumped out at me and insisted I go to see their paintings. They took me back to the orphanage and each held their own drawing. Hi, Eleanor. You're the most special girl I've ever met. Will you be my girlfriend? Fred appeared in front of me and held out a rose. So, Eleanor, what do you say? Oh, wow. What do you think, kids? That answers then? Yes. Yes, I will.
The day my life imploded started off perfectly. It was my 17th birthday party, and there I stood, looking like a Teen Vogue cover girl, surrounded by adoring fans. I mean, friends. The dress? Custom made. The cake? A literal 3-tier masterpiece that probably cost more than my grandmother's house. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Spoiled rich girl alert? I'm not, I swear, so please keep watching. Anyway, I was about to blow the candles when, bam! The front door slammed open and a swarm of FBI rushed in, and then chaos. Sorry to interrupt your party, but Mr. Monroe, we need you to come with us. You're under arrest for fraud. What? My dad is not a criminal. Tell them, Dad. My dad was one of the richest businessmen in the city and the most honest man I knew. There was no way, agents. I'm sorry, Gabby. But how? At this point, everyone had their phones out, recording, and I just wanted to disappear. But the universe wasn't done ruining my life, because as my dad was led outside in cuffs, an agent turned to me. "We're freezing all your dad's accounts and seizing all his assets, and that includes your home. Please vacate before the end of the week." And just like that, my perfect life shattered into a million tiny, embarrassing pieces. Happy frickin' birthday to me. A week later, I stood in the grand foyer of our house. Except now, it wasn't ours anymore. Everything was gone. The furniture, the artwork, all packed up and hauled away by the government. All I had left were my clothes and a few photos of my family. I miss you so much, Mom. Dad will be gone for a long time, so I'm going to live with Grandma on her farm. Growing up, it was just Dad and me. Mom had passed away when I was just a baby, and now, sitting alone in the empty room, I couldn't help but wish she was still here. But I knew I couldn't spend the whole day feeling sorry for myself. I had to start a new life. My new home smelled like dirt, goats, and emotional damage. The main house was so old, like probably haunted old. And don't even get me started on Lucifer. And who's that, you ask? He was Grandma's insane, possessed donkey who apparently had a personal vendetta against me. First, he ate my Chanel bag. Then he bit my butt when I tried to lock him in his shed. I was ready to forgive all that. But then, a few days later, Lucifer followed me to school on my very first day. I tried everything to make him leave. Throwing sticks, fake crying, negotiating, but he didn't budge. And just when I thought my morning of suffering couldn't get worse, a motorbike pulled up, and the hottest guy I'd ever seen slid off the bike. Guys, do me a favor. Close your eyes and picture this. Dark hair, sharp jaw, annoying smirk. Probably walked off a book cover on Wattpad. Got it? Now picture me. My face, tomato red, annoyed, and talking to a donkey. Nice ride. Is he like a therapy donkey? As I was busy thinking of a response, Lucifer chose that moment to relieve himself on the pavement, and the guy lost it.
Jace, what did you do to the new girl?
I didn't do anything. She's the one who brought a donkey to school. I didn't bring him. He followed me. Classic Lucifer. Wait, you know him? Everyone knows him. Lucifer, home, now. And much to my surprise, the demon donkey turned and walked away. Whoa, I can't believe you did that. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm Maddie, by the way. Gabby, nice to... And I'm Jace, single and available. More like single and contagious. Stay away from this one, new girl. I definitely will. And I totally plan to. You see, I'd met many guys like Jace, and they were nothing but trouble. So, for the next few days, I stayed away from Jace and his perfect face. But the more I avoided him, the more nagging he became. Like this one morning, I just sat at my desk when I smelled trouble and peppermint gum. You know, scientists say chemistry is all about reactions. And I'm getting a very interesting reaction from you right now. Don't you have anything else to do? Nothing else I'd rather do than make you smile. You're annoying. And you're gorgeous. Okay, that kind of made me smile. Which, of course, Jace took as an invitation to move his seat next to mine. A few weeks later, I was settled in my new school, and had even started looking forward to seeing Jace, when out of nowhere, I received an anonymous text.
I know your secret. Let's play a game. Or else.
Attached to the text was a photo of me on the day of the FBI raid, with my face in full view. No! No one here is supposed to know! I could just imagine the looks I'd get at school. Everyone would treat me like a criminal just because of Dad. Jace would probably never speak to me again. The next morning, I walked into school, terrified. Who was the anonymous texter? A hacker? Someone from my old life? Lucifer, the revenge donkey? Okay, that was unlikely, but not off the table. All morning, I checked my phone for a follow-up message. Nothing. Weird. Maybe it was just a sick prank. But then, right before lunch... Ding! New message.
Go to the cafeteria and dump your lunch on yourself, or everyone finds out.
Excuse me? What kind of psycho... Another message came in.
I'll be watching.
When the lunch bell rang, I stood in the cafeteria, holding my lunch tray and wondering what to do. If I ignored the blackmailer, my secret would be out. If I did as they asked, I'd humiliate myself in front of the entire school. You look like you're about to throw up or punch someone. Both. You okay? Yep, totally fine. Just reconsidering my entire existence. And with that, I did it. Eyes closed, I lifted my tray and dumped spaghetti and soup all over myself. At first, the cafeteria went dead silent, and then the place erupted. Oh, snap! Way to make a statement, Gabby. Let me guess, TikTok challenge? Actually, yeah. How's that for viral? Enjoy the show, everyone. That was iconic. Unhinged, but iconic. I knew I liked you for a reason. I forced a laugh, pretending I was fine. Little did I know, it was only the beginning. By last period, the entire school was buzzing, and hashtag Pasta Princess was trending on the school chat groups. And I still had no clue who was behind it. To make it worse, that night, the second I put my phone down, ding, new message.
That was quite the show you put on, Pasta Princess. Time for round 2. Kiss Ryder Walsh tomorrow, or the truth comes out.
I blinked. Ryder Walsh? The literal school heartthrob/basketball god/actual boyfriend of the meanest girl in school? Absolutely not. Furious, I typed back, no, and I got an instant reply.
Then enjoy watching the whole school find out you're the daughter of a criminal, complete with receipts.
With that threat, an attachment popped up, and when I opened it, my stomach dropped. It was a police report of my dad's arrest and all the nasty stuff he was being charged with. How had this psycho even obtained such a confidential document? It didn't matter, though. I was backed in a corner, and the only way out was to kiss Ryder freaking Walsh. So the next day, I went looking for him, and there he was, sitting next to his girlfriend, Bianca, aka the Queen Bee, aka part-time model and full-time drama queen. It was now or never, so without warning, I kissed him.
What on earth?
In a split second, Bianca's palm landed on my face, and I stumbled backward. Bianca, back off!
She just kissed my boyfriend!
I don't care. If you hit her again, I'll end you. Surprised, Bianca blinked, obviously waiting for Ryder to stand up to Jace. But Ryder was still floating, completely dazed by the kiss. And you, do you have a death wish or something? Come on, let's get out of here before Bianca's minions descend. Thanks for coming to my rescue, but I had it under control. Just then, my phone vibrated with an incoming text, and I freaked out before I even opened it. I tried to breathe and act normal, but it was too late. Jace had already noticed. Hey, what's wrong? You look like you're about to pass out. As I continued to spiral, he took a step towards me, and the next thing I knew, I was in his arms. And I don't know why, but I cracked. I sobbed for what felt like hours. When I finally managed to pull myself together, I showed him the texts, and also told him about my dad. Honestly, I expected him to walk away, but he didn't. I'm gonna find whoever's doing this. I promise. But how? I need to show you something. A short bike ride later, we arrived at Jace's house, and when he led me to his room, I gasped. Holy wow! Are you Batman? Nah, I just like programming and stuff. Now let's find the loser blackmailing you. Anxious, I watched Jace plug my phone in, but as soon as he started typing, a bunch of numbers appeared on his computer screen, and then, bam! Everything went black. What just happened? No idea. Hang on. Jace was furiously typing, and that's when my phone buzzed once. Wait, someone just deleted everything on your phone. Okay, whoever this person is, they're starting to freak me out. I'm going to find them, I promise. I won't let anyone hurt you. He looked down at me. We were just inches apart. Was this about to be the moment? No. Yes. Maybe. I have to go. Gabby, wait. When I was out of his room, I heard something. Someone was singing. I followed the voice, which led me into a room down the hall from Jace's room. Inside, dolls, lined up in perfect rows on shelves. On the bed, on the desk, everywhere. And in the middle of it all, Maddie. Maddie? What? How? Why are you here? Oh, you didn't know? I'm Jace's sister. His what now? Before I could process it, Jace appeared at the door. Gabby, you need to leave. Now. Whoa! Slow down. What is going on? Why didn't you tell me Maddie is your sister? It's complicated. Look, can we talk tomorrow? It's getting late. With that, Jace led me out and shut the door in my face. What the actual frack? The next day, I went to school ready for answers from Jace. But before I could find him, I saw the principal standing next to my locker. What's going on?
Miss Monroe, I received an anonymous tip that you stole tests from my office.
What? No, I didn't.
Well, if you're telling the truth, open your locker so I can search it.
Hands shaking, I opened my locker, and my jaw dropped when a stack of papers fell out. I don't know how those got in my locker. I swear,
Enough! You're suspended, Gabriella.
Wait, I didn't do this! But the principal didn't even blink. His mind was already made up. And then... Ding.
Looks like the apple didn't fall far from the tree. You're a criminal, just like your dad. Enjoy your suspension, Gabriella.
I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just walked home in silence. By the time I got to Grandma's house, I was boiling. You want secrets? Fine, I'll give you secrets. I pulled out my phone and hit record. Hi, I'm Gabby Monroe, and I haven't been honest with you. Before I moved to this town, I used to be rich. But then the FBI showed up and arrested my dad. And now, someone here at school has been blackmailing me over it. All those crazy things I did at school, someone made me do it. But I'm done being a puppet. Whoever you are, you're pathetic, and I'm not scared of you. Before I could chicken out, I hit send to the entire school. Little did I know, the next day was about to be the craziest day of my life. I woke up to a bazillion messages. Everyone at school had watched my video. Some felt sorry for me, while others hated my guts. But there was one message that caught my attention.
Well played, Gabby. You got guts, and I respect that. You want to know who I am? Meet me at the school rooftop tonight.
I knew it was a trap the moment I saw the message. But I went anyway, because I was done running. Then I discovered something that shook me to the core. It was... Maddie?
I knew you'd come.
What's going on? Why did you do all of this?
I was just trying to protect him from you.
Protect who?
Who else? Jace, of course. I saw the way he looked at you, like you were some goddess. But you're not. You're just like your dad. A liar. I couldn't let you hurt my Jace.
Your Jace? Isn't Jace your brother? Foster brother. I was going to be sick. Maddie liked Jace. And this whole time, she'd been blackmailing me because of him. I had a gut feeling something was off the moment I saw her singing in that eerie room filled with dolls. But this was beyond my imagination. Maddie, I think you need help. The moment the words left my mouth, I knew I should never have said them. Because in the very next second, Maddie transformed into something wild. Like a feral cat ready to strike.
Shut up! You don't know anything!
Then she lunged at me, her nails like daggers, a scream tearing from her throat. Before I could recover, she was on me, nails slashing through the air, wild eyes locked on mine.
Maddie, stop!
I stumbled backward, heart pounding, feet skidding against the gravel rooftop. One more step, and I might have lost my balance. But I didn't, because a hand grabbed me and pulled me into a hug.
I got you.
Jace! I did it for you! She's a criminal!
Enough, Maddie! I've already talked to Mom and Dad. They're taking you back to the hospital tonight.
No! They can't do that! I'll be good, I promise! Please, Jace!
As Maddie fell to her knees, school security burst through the door, and a few minutes later, Maddie was taken into an ambulance.
You okay?
Not now, but I will be.
I know I owe you some answers.
And so, back at Grandma's, Jace proceeded to tell me a crazy story. Jace's mom was a psychiatrist, and a few months ago, she went to do some counseling at a group home, and that's where she met Maddie. After a few weeks of speaking to Maddie, Jace's mom had brought Maddie home to live with them.
At first, Maddie seemed fine, but then she'd have moments where she completely lost it. Dad asked Mom to take her back to the group home, but I stood up for Maddie and asked Mom to let her stay. I felt sorry for her.
And that's when Maddie's obsession with you began.
Yeah, I thought it was harmless, but now I know better.
I'm just glad no one got seriously hurt, and I hope she gets the help she needs.
You're so kind.
That's why Before he could complete his sentence, something hit my butt.
Lucifer!
Talk about a ruined moment. But I wasn't really mad, though. I knew Jace and I had so many more happy moments to come.
I was at a bustling party, waiting for the one who would decide whether I'd won my cousin's bet or not. Forget your dumb ex. $50 if you get the number of the next guy walking through that door. Oh, here comes my target. I hurriedly approached him, but stumbled and we're kissing. I could feel the taste of grapes on his lips. I immediately pushed him away and stood up. Phone number, please. The guy looked confused, but still handed me a note. All done. Time to flee the scene. Hi, I'm Agatha, a super introvert who hiccups when nervous. And lucky enough, my kooky cousin dragged me to this crazy party. I ran home to see Mum looking all excited. Oh, my sweet child, you're back already. It's just not my thing, Mom. But cooking is. I have some amazing news. The local soccer club is looking for a chef, so I recommended you. And guess what? They said you can start ASAP. Yes, I've dreamt of becoming a chef since I was little, and now that dream will soon come true. Yahoo! Today's the day. I eagerly arrived at the soccer club, but my jaw almost hit the floor when I saw Mateo, my ex. What was he doing here? Flustered, I looked away and saw that guy from the party. What on earth? My life's officially over. After the introduction, I immediately ran to the pitch for some fresh air, but then a hand patted my shoulder. It's him again. No calls or texts? You asked for my number. Are you that shy? I'm Killian, by the way. It was just a joke. Please leave. But then he stepped even closer. Panicked, I pushed him away. Almost made him fall backward. I tried to catch him, but not again. This time he smells like chocolate. Oh, you like my lips this much? Why not just say so? Holy moly! I ran straight away without looking back. I better stay 10 miles away from him. Suddenly, I saw Mateo passing by. Has he seen anything? But why bother? As if he cared. He dumped me. Okay, Agatha, you're here to work, so focus. But with these jocks around, it's not that easy. They always jump-scared me when I was doing my job and made fun of me when I got lost in the changing room. And Killian was always there in time to save me. Everyone, stop. Close your eyes. Then he threw a super stinky, sweaty towel at my face. Ew. Plus, that jerk is the pickiest eater on this planet. He's constantly complaining about my food and demanded I cook him something else. There you go. I'm cutting on starch to build muscles. I'll get rid of the pasta. Oops, I forgot. I'm lactose intolerant. Okay, no cheese. Poor little chicken. I can't eat that. So, are you allergic to the plate too? Meanwhile, other team members were way easier, especially Mateo. We used to date, so I knew his taste pretty well. I gave you some extra pork, your favorite. I don't like pork. I hate pigs. Just then, Killian jumped in. You should focus on me instead. We can discuss my meals privately. Before I could say anything, he already handed me a note. Me and him alone? That's weird. But learning his eating habit would help my job, right? Nope, big mistake. Killian had an endlessly absurd list of diet restrictions. No more than 2.5 grams of salt a day, mayonnaise on everything, no mushrooms, and spaghetti without tomato sauce. Did he just descend onto Earth? And during the meal, this dude kept smiling and staring at me. You like me or something? You have a veggie on your teeth! Dude! Oh gosh! I immediately ran to the restroom, but Killian caught up with me, holding a ball of wool. Is this yours? I looked down to see a wool thread coming out of my dress's hemline. Oh gosh, I wish the ground just swallowed me whole right now. Surprisingly, Killian put his jacket on me. That was cool. Just then he caught me drooling over him, so I immediately pretended to play with my phone. Just want to beat level 9,674 in Candy Crush. Strangely, over the next few days, Mateo started being nice to me. Too nice. Your cooking is top-notch as always. Tomorrow, can you make me those delicious vegetable fritters we used to have together? He still remembered that? Boy, he made my heart race. I sprinted to the kitchen and put on music to calm down. Soon I found myself singing and dancing to my jam. I promise that you'll never find another like me. Hee hee! Ooh, 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 ooh! Mamma mia! How long had he been there? Flustered, I burnt myself. Killian rushed over and held my hand. You okay? You can't even handle yourself? Then he insisted on finishing my work and even prepared us a dish. His broad back. Isn't he quite a charmer when he cooks? We talked a lot, and turns out we share a ton of things in common. Beneath his teasing, he's actually gentle, caring, and a good listener. I suddenly realized that I had stopped hiccuping since ages. One afternoon, while giving out water, I saw Killian. Oh wow, it's like the sunshine drew a halo around him and his exquisite face. Wait a minute, why was I smiling? Suddenly, a fancy-looking girl came over. Killian, why didn't you reply to my messages? You left me hanging all night. Look, I have dark circles now. That's on you. I went to leave, but out of nowhere, Mateo pulled me into a corner.
Why were you so close to him? He's only messing with me.
Huh? What do you mean?
He competes with me in everything. I was cold to you to protect you. Now that he knows you're important to me, he'll harm you to hurt me.
I think he's just trying to be nice.
His dad is our club's biggest sponsor. You really think he wants to hang out with people like us while Sloan, whose family owns the largest hospital in the state, is here?
I don't know what to believe anymore. However, I had to admit they looked like a perfect couple. While holding a coffee tray one time, I clumsily bumped into Sloan. Are you blind? Why do they let a doofus work here?
Come on, Sloan, you bumped into her.
He sure seemed sweet to me. Maybe Mateo had misunderstood him. Then once, I spotted the two of them in a quarrel where Killian even pushed Mateo. I tried to intervene, but they brushed me off. What was going on between them? A few days later, I returned from the grocery store to see the head coach in a fit of rage.
Explain to me how Mateo is hospitalized for eating your food.
What? Why?
Stop it! You're fired!
My head spun in a million circles. I hadn't done anything wrong. I was packing my things when Sloan appeared. Well. Looks like Little Miss Muffet met her match. Only need some simple tricks to get rid of you and your phony, needy act. Stop dreaming about Killian. You're not at our level. Wait, our? Who's with you? But Sloan just smirked and strutted away. That's when the memory of Killian and Mateo fighting struck my mind. So, Killian must have conspired with Sloan to harm Mateo and ruin my career in the process? How could he? Still, he had the cheek to text me as if nothing had happened. Dummy, Agatha. You should have listened to Mateo from the start and stayed away from Killian. I visited Mateo in the hospital, but he coldly shooed me away. It was exactly like the day he dumped me. Today is the city's championship final, and to be honest, I didn't really know why I was here. I looked around for Mateo, but couldn't find him. He might still be sick, so we had to skip this match. On the field, Killian seemed distracted and off his game. What's wrong with him today? Killian, my dear. The lady sitting next to me looked nervous and kept fidgeting. I spoke to her and figured out she was Killian's mom. She told me the shocking news. His little sister was missing. He was blackmailed into making their team lose or he'd never see his sister again. Killian faced the goal, but he didn't kick. Instead, he passed to another player who then scored the goal. The spectators cheered in triumph, while other players celebrated the goal with Killian. Blood seemed to have drained from his face. As predicted, the threats kept coming. I couldn't just sit and pray, so I asked Killian's mom for more clues. She played me the recording of her daughter. I strained my ears to listen and heard a noise. Peekaboo, peekaboo. I know that sound. It's Mateo's parrot. Ma'am, I know who's behind this. It's Mateo. What? I can excuse fake food poisoning, but how dare he harm my Killian? Say it again, Sloan. He asked me to fake the medical paper, and I figured it would also kick you out, so I agreed. But what about Killian's sister? That was nothing to do with me, I swear. We rushed to Mateo's house. It took him forever to open the door. Mateo, are you okay now? I have thought a lot about us, and realized how important you are to me, and I don't want to lose you again. Mateo, could you?
Oh, please, look at yourself. I just dated you for fun. You truly think I like you? And no more pork for me, please.
Do you seriously think I'd want you back after the despicable things you did to me and Killian?
Killian? Props to that freak for coming at me for telling the truth. So pathetic of him to go for my leftovers. It's you, dummy.
Then he blurted out how he cooked up this entire scheme to ruin Killian's career out of the jealousy which was triggered when he visited him in the hospital and told him not to worry about missing the match as they've had a new strategy to cover his absence and the team would perform well anyway.
I'm not a pawn that can easily be kicked out. You wish.
You are pathetic. Right then, Sloan appeared with the little girl. Let's go. There's no time.
Where are you going, Agatha? Admit it. You're still smitten with me.
Sorry, the old Agatha can't come to the phone right now.
Why?
Oh, 'Cause she's dead. After that, we rushed to the stadium. There, I shouted out Killian's name and raised his sister's hands. He seemed surprised to see us, then nodded and smiled. Afterwards, he played like a pro and led his team to victory. He was even awarded Player of the Match. It's an honor to receive this title, and I want to shout out to someone important. Without her, this wouldn't have happened. Agatha, thank you so much. Countless cameras turned to me. Then he rushed over to drag me to a corner where I told him everything. I know Mateo's a jerk, but I didn't expect him to be that bad. But no worries. Let's see how he likes being permanently banned from the soccer club. Agatha, I want to tell you that I found something just as important as soccer. You. He then grabbed my face and pressed his lips against mine. Finally, we had a legit kiss, and it was magical.
Hi, Melanie here, and I'm hanging on the edge of my seat to hear the results of this year's science fair. I know I might not look like a typical studious girl, but I'm definitely serious about school. Ooh, 1 second. The winner of West High Science Fair 2023 is Harry Silver. That means the runner-up is Melanie D'Angelo. Congratulations to you both. Please come onto the stage for your awards. Man, I can't believe I'm second to him again. We'd been literally swapping first and second place on every leaderboard since we were kids. Ugh, so unfair. Look at him. All he did was partying and pulling silly pranks, yet he's still on the honor roll, while I had to study day and night to maintain my straight A's. Mom's taking quite long. What's that commotion over there? This calls for a celebration. What do you guys think? Olive Garden? Yes! Geez, can you keep it down just a smidge? Come to think of it, people like Harry just have it all, while I only have Mom by my side. Oh, she came just in time! Dad left us for another woman a while ago, so my mom had been struggling every day being a single mom. She must be really sad and lonely, so I'd never mention Dad anymore. Poor her. The more I felt for Mom, the angrier I was at Dad. Only my bestie, Izzy, knew about this, 'cause, you know, it's hard to open up when you're from a broken home. Luckily, there's one thing in this world that could raise my spirits, as well as my heartbeat, in these dark, gloomy days. My dreamy crush, Cameron. Last year of middle school was coming to an end, so I gotta make a move with Cameron fast. The problem was, every time I got close to him, that party pooper appeared out of nowhere to make fun of me. He kept calling me melanin, 'cause that's what you lack, and bothered me nonstop. We had never gotten along, but seriously? What's wrong with him lately? He picked on me way too much, and why only me? I can't believe everyone thinks he's a model student. To me, Harry's no more than the most annoying bug. All right. Hair, makeup, pearly white teeth, check. I'm giving it another go today, waiting for Cameron at his locker with my love letter in hand. As soon as I saw his gorgeous face, I took a deep breath, then put up the sweetest smile, but all of a sudden, someone messed up my hair from behind. Ouch! I turned around to see the culprit. Harry, you look hot. And it generates electricity, too. Now you can charge your phone with your hair. Thank me later. Oh my god! Nobody should see this Medusa hairdo. My plan to confess failed again before it even started. All thanks to that clown Harry. Wait, isn't that my dad? He was walking out of the principal's office with a much younger woman and a boy my age. From what I gathered, they're saying that his son would go here. Seeing how my dad's starting a new life with his new family, I couldn't help but feel sorry for Mom. This is all that woman's fault. If she just disappeared, things could go back to the way they were. But that's merely a wish, and me and Mom just have to put up with this boring, unhappy life day by day. Voodoo for dummies? Was some higher power listening to me? This sounds like an answer to my problem. I ordered the book immediately. I started studying all kinds of spells and rituals in it as soon as the package arrived. Voodoo dolls? Interesting. The next day, I went to find Izzy ASAP. Hey, I'm thinking of using a voodoo doll on my dad's new wife to bring my parents back together. What do you think? Does it really work? I don't think. Yo, Wednesday. Sorry. Yo, knock off Wednesday. Harry Silver, you are so dead. But wait a second. You know what? We can test it out. Harry would be the perfect guinea pig. What? Him? He's just being his playful self. What if voodoo actually works? Harry doesn't deserve it? Well, I don't think so. Let's make a doll for our little preppy boy then. Crocheting a doll's easy. However, the tricky thing was getting my subject's hair, and you bet I won't get physically close to Harry even if someone pays me to. So I got this, a Ouija board. It will help me figure out the code for his locker. There must be a few strands stuck on the fancy hairbrush that he kept inside. Ugh, but none of the combos worked. This is the 10th time already. How about this? There we go. But there were only books inside. Boring. Then the soccer team's changing room it is. I will definitely find something on his uniform. Let's see. Harry, silver. There it is. Aha! Gotcha! I was about to flee the scene when I suddenly saw a boy with only a towel around his waist. Ah! I sprinted to the door and dashed straight through the hallway. That was close. Okay, I still had a voodoo doll to finish. And it's done. I excitedly show Izzy last night's work. Pretty good, huh? It has Harry's hair, too. What? How do you know it's really Harry's? What if it's somebody else's? Well, Hey, did you hear some perv with panda eyes was creeping around the boys' changing room yesterday? Go away. But don't worry. Starting today, we'll take turns guarding the entrance to catch them. Oh, what a coincidence. You fit the culprit's description perfectly, Melanin. But you're definitely not that pervy, are you? I was so mad I felt smoke coming out of my ears. I wish my gaze could kill that brat. Mel, you're squeezing the doll's arm. It's gonna come off. Whoops, my bad. Next time I saw Harry, he had bandages all over his right arm. Hang on, did I do that? Feeling guilty and curious, I approached him. Hey, what's wrong with your arm? It's been in pain since yesterday for no reason. My doctor said nothing's wrong, but I kept feeling like someone's squeezing it really hard. Ugh, there it goes again. Oh, spooky. It means the doll is truly magical. I immediately came running to tell Izzy, and of course, she was shocked too. But hold up, nosy Artie? How long has he been standing here? This guy clearly had heard everything. He kept reaching for my doll. No way. He'd tell the whole school about it. Then suddenly, Harry sat down next to me. Melanie, my arm hurts. Feed me. What's he pulling now? Can't he see I'm in the middle of something? Right at that moment, Artie snatched my doll. Leave it to me. No, Artie, no! Not with milk in his mouth. Oops, sorry, I felt so nauseous all of a sudden. That was more than enough to make all of us firm believers. But maybe I should stop. I do feel guilty for dragging Harry into this. That afternoon, when I was about to throw the doll in the trash can, I saw Cameron walk towards me. Did Christmas come early? Hey, I was wondering if you're... Yes, I've been waiting so long for this day. An occultist? What? I mean, Artie was going off about a voodoo doll of yours, so I thought you might know a thing or two about love spells. But if that's not true, I'm sorry. What do you need a love spell for? Then he revealed he wanted to put a spell on his crush, Regina. So all this time, I had no chance with him at all? But hey, a love spell sounds like a brilliant idea. It could ensure my parents' reunion too. Sure thing, but I'll need your hair as well as Regina's. Also, some of your personal items for the spell to work. Obviously, I'll use his stuff, but in a love spell for me. And you know what I gave him? It's all junk with some of my poodle's fur. A few days later, I found a gift box in my locker from Cameron. My spell worked. I'm about to have a boyfriend and reunite my family. But before I could carry out that long-awaited plan, Artie came to me with a difficult request, making a voodoo doll of Brad, some transfer student who already established himself as a vicious tough guy. That sounds dangerous, and I already promised myself not to use voodoo anymore. Don't believe me? See for yourself. Then I followed him and witnessed another student being picked on by a much bigger guy. Hey, isn't he Dad's stepson? Okay, this Brad guy deserves it. So I agreed to help Artie. The next day, I approached Brad after class where he usually messed with other students. I managed to sneak up behind him and get one strand of hair. Oh no, busted! I quickly put the hair in the doll. This better work. Come on! Why isn't it working? And why now? Pesky little thing. Stop! I know those voices. Thank goodness. Touch her and you'll regret it. Yeah, we'll call the police. Brad just scoffed and left. Phew, what are you both doing here? And Harry, I thought your arm hurt. Then Harry and Izzy finally told me that voodoo had never been effective. Izzy knew that Harry only picked on me because he liked me. That's why she tried to stop me from using voodoo on him. But she couldn't, so she then told Harry everything. To be honest, I found your attempts quite amusing, so I acted like they were successful to humor you and myself. I was gonna stop though, but when you were being sweet to me and asked about my arm, I decided to keep it up. Oh my god! My bestie had been friends with my mortal enemy all along. Behind my back? Am I a joke to you? Why are you here? To make fun of me even more than you already did? Because I got worried when I heard you're going after Brad. Melanie, you're the smartest girl in school. I don't understand why you're doing all these dumb gimmicks. Yeah, you've been acting strange lately. Since when are you superstitious? What other choice do I have? Voodoo or at whatever cost? I need to get my parents back together, and that punk Brad is my dad's stepson. He deserves whatever comes to him for ruining my life. And you know what else? Both of you get out of my sight for good! Then I stormed off. After that day, I no longer talked to Izzy, and Harry's relentless pestering finally stopped. But honestly, it felt a bit empty without them, especially with the upcoming school field trip. Of course, I'm still coming. Who needs them anyway? This is the chance for Cameron and I to be closer now that we're talking on the regs. It's gonna be the best trip ever. I'd never been the outdoorsy type, but does camping involve this many physical tasks? Almost done. What on earth is that? Isn't he under my love spell already? I mean, he even gave me a present. I was still in shock when Cameron came over to help with the tent. Thank you. No need to. I can't thank you enough. That spell of yours worked wonders. What does he mean by that? Then, out of nowhere, Izzy tapped on my shoulder. I've tried to tell you. Those two have been flirting for a while now. I guess Cameron just needed your spell as a little spiritual push. That means none of these has ever worked? There's absolutely no hope of bringing my family back? Feeling devastated, I burst into tears and ran off. I was running without looking and bumped into... Brad? Melanie, right? Just who I want to see. Or should I say, my dear stepsister. Your mama sent you here. Let go of me and piss off! I wonder how pathetic she had to be to have her husband walk out on her. If this was any other time, I would have fought back. But after all that just happened, I've lost all of my will to do anything now. Out of the blue, I saw someone charge at Brad and land a brutal blow on his face. I said I'd make you regret touching her. I had to stop Harry before he messed Brad's face up beyond recognition. It's time we got out of here. Why did you come help me after everything I said? I'm kinda used to your coldness. Besides, my love language is following you around and teasing you until you notice or get mad at me. Silly. I know. On a different note, I thought you knew that voodoo was useless. Yeah, so I thought of a love spell to get my parents back together. Then my family will be whole and happy again. But I know it now. There's no such thing as magic. Why not? Magic is alive and well inside you, and it is called forgiving. It cannot punish those who hurt you and your loved ones, but it can help you let go of your pains and sufferings. What are you trying to say? I mean, no magic can make your dad come back, but someday the pain he caused you won't ache anymore. Eventually, your mom and you will heal and lead a fulfilling life without him. I never took this goofy guy for the philosophical and mature type, but I guess he's right. I'd been so caught up in my own bitterness that I didn't realize moving on was an option. When my mom picked me up, I decided to finally ask her about my dad. Unexpectedly, Mom told me that of course it was sad at first, but she's actually doing fine these days. Life's supposed to have its ups and downs. As long as we welcome them with open arms, everything will turn out all right in the end. After all, your father will have the life he wants, while we get on with our lives. Turned out, I was the only one chasing the past all this time, when what I actually needed was closure. Mom's words were more than enough to put this grieving period behind me. My last year as a middle schooler was quite eventful. Brad was no longer a problem since he got a taste of Harry's fist. Did I mention that we became a trio of best friends? For now, at least. Harry never stopped his shenanigans, but instead of getting annoyed like before, I found him quite adorable and endearing. Oh, just kiss already. Izzy!
Hi everyone, I'm Lydia, and I'm gonna tell you my amazing but totally bizarre story. But before I do, please like and subscribe. I have a big sister, Gwen, who's 2 years older than me, and she's basically a genius. From as young as I remember, I idolized her.
What is 25 squared?
625, Dad. Honey, what's this? It's The Starry Night, an oil-on-canvas painting painted in June 1889 by the Dutch post-impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh. While I'm, a bit different.
And Lydia, I have 10 candies. I'll give you 2. So how many do I have left?
Isn't this doll cute, Daddy? Yeah, I'm no genius, with no particular talent, no flawless beauty, and almost no friends either. But Gwen didn't mind and was always supportive of me. It's fabulous! Fabulous! It's fabulous! That's why I adored her a lot and tried to copy everything she did. It's fabulous! What's so fabulous about my cat dying? Oops, wrong timing. Then, when I was 16, Gwen left for college. Out of sight, but definitely not out of mind. My parents went on about her all the time, which only made me miss her more. I dreamed of going off to college and having a perfect life, as she did. But for that to happen, I needed to shake up my plain Jane life. I wonder what my hidden talent is. Could it be dancing? No, definitely not. Okay, maybe singing would be better. Right now I'm in a state of mind I wanna be in like all the time. Ain't got no tears left to cry. That's enough. Next. Gosh, why can Gwen make it seem so easy? But at least my grades didn't fail me. I studied my butt off and finally got into law school just like Gwen did, then moved out. Yahoo! So here comes my first day of college. Send me spiritual strength, Gwenny. I successfully joined the cheerleading team and boys started noticing me. But I only had eyes for Ethan. My super handsome boyfriend. Finally, I achieved the life I'd always wanted. Thanks, sis, my real-life role model. Then one day, I arrived home to see a familiar figure waiting for me. Gwen! I was so happy, thinking she'd finally freed up time to visit me, but she looked so upset and had gained weight. A bit. College life seems to have fattened you up. Lydia, I'm pregnant. What the chocolate fudge? One eternity later, I finally managed to close my goldfish mouth, then invited her inside. I dropped out of college 6 months ago, then found out I was expecting a baby right after. My due date's in just 2 weeks, and I have nowhere to go. Please, Lydia, let me stay here. Our parents must not find out. I can't face their disappointment. How about my disappointment? She was meant to be perfect, but she's just ruined everything. What about the father? He has to study in France, so you're the only one I can rely on right now. As mad as I was, I still felt sorry for her. She is my sister, after all. So I let her stay, but refused to talk to her. During the whole week, she hardly slept a wink. She plodded around the place, constantly trying to rub her back and tensing through the pain. I hated seeing her in so much discomfort, so yes, I caved. Together, we prepared for the arrival of our new family member, and I have to admit it, I was kinda excited. Let's find an adorable, meaningful name. Okay, let me do some research. Love Rosie is my favorite movie, so let's name her Rosie. Wow, that's fast. Baby Rosie was born healthy and happy. We three had such a good time until one day, I arrived home from college to find a note and an envelope inside Rosie's crib. My darling Lydia, I'll be away for a while longer. 2 months, I suppose. I have to make some changes so that I can provide for Rosie. Please take care of her for me and do not tell anyone about this. I will be forever grateful for this. G. OMG! How could she do this to me? I still have college, my friends, Ethan, and now a niece? But when I turned to see Rosie smiling at me with those big, round, sparkling eyes, suddenly my heart melted. I can do this. Rosie, looks like it's just the two of us now. Mommy will be back soon, so please make things easy, won't you? She absolutely did not. Sometimes I wondered if Rosie was real or an AI program because every night at 3 a.m. sharp, she would cry her lungs out. And if her milk was a little colder than 98.6, she'd spit it all out. Not to mention, I have to come up with 1,000 ridiculous ways to keep her entertained. And my house was always filled with the smell of stinky diapers. But other than that, Rosie was very sweet. I can't bring myself to get angry at her. I had no other option but to take online lessons instead of going to class. One time, I forgot to turn off the mic, and suddenly, Rosie farted so loudly that the entire class immediately flocked around to look. Another time, I was so exhausted from staying up all night that I felt my eyelids drooping. Then, Lydia! Yes, dear, milk is coming! I don't think milk works for you, but an F will. Oh no. Despite my constant apologizing, I still ended up with poor results. This semester, I'd already failed 2 classes and been kicked out of the cheerleading team. You think that is the worst part? Think again. On a super lucky day, I was at Walmart, overwhelmed with dozens of diaper brands when I saw none other than Ethan. There's nowhere to hide, Lydia. You're doomed. Oh, hi, Ethan. Didn't expect to see you here. Sorry, recently I'm a bit busy. Do I know you? Huh? I'm Lydia, your girlfriend? What? It's really you? You ghosted me for the past few weeks. Jeez. Did you even take a shower? And what's that thing? Want to trap me with a baby? No, she's not my child. And it's true that I forgot to wash my hands after changing Rosie's diaper this morning, but anyway, please, I just need to look after her for a few more weeks and everything will be back to normal. That's enough. Look at you. You're just like a cave girl. By the way, use this. And you know what? We're over. No words can explain how pathetic I am right now. It's all because of your mom. She's such a... Now my life's a living misery, all because of you two. Shh. I'm sorry, Rosie, I didn't mean it. None of this is your fault. 2 months is almost up. When your mom's back, things will be okay again. But 2 months passed, and Gwen was still nowhere to be found. Worse still, the money she left ran out. I had no choice but to find work, so I took a personal tutor job where students came to my place to study. Not a single soul applied, until one day I opened the door to see this guy. Hello, can I help you? I saw this flyer and want to attend the class. Oh, really? Sure. Come on in. Turns out, he's Augustin. He wanted to get onto the same law course as me, but last year he didn't make the grade. I tried my best to keep an eye on both Rosie and Augustin in separate rooms, but once in a while, Rosie let out a squeak. You hear that? That's my cat. Solve this equation. I need to go to the toilet. But you went 10 minutes ago. I have a small bladder. It runs in my family. Any problems? If you fall in love with someone, just confess like this. My love for you is like diarrhea. I can't hold it in. Mwahaha! Disgusting. I pity anyone who falls in love with him. I hurried back in to see him on his phone. So much for working hard. Huh. Hey, if you really want to get into college, at least put some effort into it. Like how you did your Snow White makeup. Oh no, it's baby powder. It's flour. I'm making bread. Didn't know you can make bread in the toilet. It's okay, teen mom. No need to hide your baby anymore. No judgment here. Seeing as the game was up, I told Augustin the truth. Surprisingly, he seemed understanding and even asked if he could see Rosie. Whoa! Who knew Mr. Jokester could be so good with babies? I've never seen Rosie so full of joy and laughter like that. Gradually, I no longer saw him as my student, but more like a friend. It's not like he came to my place to study anyway. We talked a lot, even outside tutoring sessions, and I learned so much about him. You'll never fulfill your law school dreams by playing games all the time over studying. Who said law school is my dream? And this is not a game. Huh, a fashion website? Don't tell me it's yours. Yeah, I'm the founder of this brand. No way. And what's this? Can you really sell this plain cap for $200? It's not about the cap. It's about the brand's design. He then told me he had always dreamt of opening his own fashion chain, but his parents never supported it and just wanted him to be a lawyer like them. That's why he was never serious about his studies and messed about. So, what's your dream? Become the best judge in America? It's totally not a hard question, but why am I speechless? I just want to be as cool as my sister, but she's not so cool anymore. Right then, Rosie squealed and filled her diaper, which somehow saved me from the situation. But Augustin's question got me thinking. I need to find the answer. You look distracted. What's on your mind? I found it! I want to be perfect! That's vague. How do you define perfect, though? Does it make you happy? I'm not sure. How about this? Have you ever thought about it? Oh, this is nonsense. Forget it. I've forgotten to take care of myself for so long. My boyfriend dumped me, and now my friends also ignored me. I became a loser, all because of a baby. Right then, my lecturer emailed me. A last-minute spot had come up on the debate team for the most important competition of the year. This is my big chance. But how was I supposed to care for Rosie and prepare for it? After a whole night of tossing and turning, the doorbell woke me. Was it Gwen? Oh, it's just some strange guy. Hi, you must be Lydia, Gwen's sister. I'm Kyle, Gwen's boyfriend, and her baby daddy. What on earth? Look at him! I didn't know Gwen had such a weird taste in men. Aren't you studying in France or something? What? Yeah, but without my baby, France, Germany, or even the North Pole are all meaningless. Can I see her now? And after that was the reunion of the century. Thanks for taking good care of Rosie, but now I'll do it. That's my duty as her father anyway. Kyle might look intimidating, but he seemed to love Rosie sincerely. So even though it broke my heart, I gave Rosie to her dad. Besides, there's a huge opportunity waiting for me. I put all of my focus into studying, and it was all going amazingly. I ate the competition and left no crumbs, then even got invited back onto the cheerleading team. My dream life was back. But why did I feel like I had this big hole inside of me? Congratulations, best debater of the state! Thanks. Sup? You took back everything you wanted. Why the long face? I don't know. I just feel empty. So, what can we do to make you feel happy right now? So, here we are, at Rosie's place. What's that loud crying and scolding sound? I impatiently pressed the bell, and Kyle took forever to answer. OMG, is that cigarette smoke? And look at the house! It's a huge mess! What are you doing to Rosie? That's it. Give her back to me. You have no right to take her away from me. The only one who can raise Rosie with me is her mother. So tell Gwen to come back to me. What? You didn't talk to Gwen about this? Last warning. Tell Gwen to come here and ask to be my girlfriend again. Then I'll consider giving her the baby back. Excuse me, it's father-daughter time now. I fell on my knees like all my strength was drawn away. It's all my fault. I handed Rosie to him. Calm down, Lydia. Let's try contacting your sister first. I called Gwen a million times, but no surprise, she didn't pick up. So I shot her a message about the current situation and asked her to show up ASAP. Me and Augustin waited outside Kyle's house for ages, and right when we were about to give up, Gwen finally appeared. We banged on the door, but that jerk Kyle refused to let us in. Oh, you finally showed up. If you want the brat back that badly, then it'll cost you, let's say, $5,000. What a lowlife! Gwen was inconsolable, and Augustin kept trying to kick the door down. Success! We were about to storm in, but then spotted Kyle running off with Rosie and jumped onto his motorbike. Call 911. We've got this. He led me over to his bike, and I clung on for dear life as we chased after Kyle. He was going so fast, and I thought we were going to lose him. Then suddenly, Augustin took a sharp turn up a narrow alley. What are you doing? He went the other way. Trust me, and hold on tight. We whizzed back onto the main road and managed to cut Kyle off at the town square. He tried leaving the baby there and running off, but the cops caught up just in time, and he was arrested. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have left like that. I put you all in such terrible danger. All I wanted was to make things right. Gwen, it's okay. We're all okay. After that, we all went back to her dorm. Turns out she's now a journalism freshman. And I cannot believe my eyes. How could she live in a place like this? Why are you... My life wasn't full of roses at all. The perfect image that I built up was all fake, and it completely wore me out. But this is real. It's what truly makes me happy, so please understand. I didn't know that, but I'm glad you found your dream. You'll always be my coolest sister. And with a holding hand, Gwen found the strength to tell our parents everything. They weren't angry at all, and even felt sorry for her carrying all that burden alone. Turns out it was Gwen who put all the pressure on herself. Mom and Dad even suggested that Gwen move back with them, so they could help her take care of Rosie. Finally, everything was sorted out, except I realized law was not my passion after all. Now, which path should I take? Suddenly, Augustin came to me with a wrinkled piece of paper. How about you start with this? Gosh, you still keep it? Let's say I'll give it a try. Hi, it's me again, and today is the grand opening of my baby clothes store. All the clothes here are my own designs. Adorable, right? And my marketing and branding expert, aka my soulmate, is this guy. Oh, of course, my family was also here. Mom. Wow, Rosie had just spoken her first word. Let's take a picture to capture this memorable moment. 3, 2, 1. Oh no, sweetie.